Hey guys, welcome back to the 10th Marvel Rivals Cozy Cash Cup, sponsored by Avalanche. I'm Manatee, your host for today, joined by my co-host Muff.
Hello.
And today we've got 7 fantastic teams playing in a double elimination best of 1 format for $500. The first place winner will be taking home $300, and the second place will also bag a nice $200 themselves. Looks like we got a lot of new and returning teams this Cozy Cash Cup, Muff. How are we feeling about these teams?
Yeah, Manatee, I'm super jazzed about this, man. We've got the returning champs from the Cozy Cash Cup 9, in formerly known as Ego Death. Their new name is Odyssey. These guys had probably one of the most unique compositions I think I've ever seen in any sort of any level of pro play. To be totally honest, I mean, these guys came out swinging. It was pretty. I mean, it was a decisive defeat. I mean, if we're going to be really honest about it. And it's going to be really interesting to see who's going to step up and try and dethrone these guys tonight. Calamity is also here as well. We were going to see Cafe Rose. Unfortunately, they were not able to make it here tonight, but hopefully we get to see them in a future Cash Cup. And yeah, no, just super excited, and I got a ton of energy, and I'm ready to see this thing through.
Yeah, it should be great. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are recognized and a lot of new teams as well. I think one of the new teams, Dreamland, I think has some players that I recognize from the previous Cozy Cash Cups. Like, I think I've seen Valentina and Mace before. I haven't looked too deeply into the players for their respective teams. But yeah, it should be really exciting to see these teams in this Cozy Cash Cup. We should be getting into the winners finals, which on here it says winners side semifinals. Between Odyssey and Dreamland. I do have it outlined here. And we will be getting into this game in a little bit, but before that, I believe we do know what map we are going to be going to, which should be... Hellfire Gala or Krakoa on Hellfire Gala.
Ooh, this is a great map. I love this map. Any kind of domination style map, I'm a super huge fan of. Gives you a lot of opportunities for some really coordinated team play. It's a lot less to me about hitting the flanks and more so just about kind of, digging your heels in the dirt and seeing who's going to move first.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting. Before the game gets started, actually, let's talk a little bit about this recent balance patch. There was an overall patch that added a new map and game mode. Resource Rumble is the name of the game mode, and the new map, I think it was on the Symbiotic Surface. I forgot exactly what it was. Maybe I'll show it to you guys later if we have a little bit of extra time, but since it is in the casual format, we will not be seeing it today. At least because we are only playing the ranked games. Yeah, I was pretty excited to see it. I think it's really cool. It's a little bit of a mix of like Flashpoint from Overwatch, but a little bit different. And looking at these balance changes, nothing super major. I mean, I think the nerf to the Human Torch just lowered damage on a lot of his dots, his damage over time abilities, as well as lower damage on Loki. Should really put them a bit more closer to balance compared to a lot of the other strategists and duelists in the cast. So it should be pretty exciting to see if anything has changed. I'm not sure the Blade buff will really change too much. It gave him a little bit more self-sustain in his vampire form, and overall doesn't really affect his viability too much. So I am pretty excited to see how things will go here. We should be getting into the game on Krakoa here in a little bit. But before that, I want to talk a little bit about this the new game from the Cozyverse team called Boat Bashers. And I have it open here.
Baby.
Yeah, I got it open here for you guys to take a little bit of a look out. I have the QR code on screen if you guys want to take a look, as well as the link down in the middle. So while we get into this next match, I will play a little bit of it while we wait for the next game, but we are getting into this game right now. So, well, it's loading in right now, so I'll see you guys there in a second. Yeah, and as we enter Krakoa on Hellfire Gala, it should be pretty exciting. We've got Odyssey versus Dreamland. So I'm curious to see how these teams are going to approach this map. This is a domination style map, so it's like King of the Hill. Is there anything you're expecting here, Muff?
Yeah, I'm fully expecting Odyssey to come out in this first round right here and just put their foot to the floor and just send it. My money is on Odyssey to win it all at the moment.
Yeah,
Until
I
they
mean,
show
I
me
think
otherwise.
I think Odyssey was doing super good in the last tournament. They really showed some really cool, unique strategies. But when I was looking at through some of the games that were played from Dreamland, as well as some of the players I know from the previous tournaments, I'm pretty excited to see how these teams will match up. I think Dreamland has some great players, but I think Odyssey has done incredibly well, especially in the last Cozy Cash Cup 9. So I'm kind of curious to see how it pans out. We do see the Jean Grey or the Phoenix ban coming out from Odyssey, as well as Dreamland banning that Loki. It seems like that nerf didn't really affect his viability too much, as he still is a priority ban.
And then also you see the Emma Frost ban comes out, or the Emma Frost Protect. Sorry, that's pretty standard. I'm curious, this Mace for Dreamland. If he's the Mace that I'm thinking of, he typically mains Magneto, correct?
Yeah, I think Mace was on Magneto the last time we saw him in the Cozy Cash Cup, which I think it was the first or second, or the first few Cozy Cash Cups, pretty early on a team called Wrong Band Mace. So yeah, it should be exciting to see how it pans out, especially if they want to keep that Emma Frost and they're not, Odyssey is not willing to ban the Magneto. It should be exciting to see how effective that's going to be in a more standard composition. And Dreamland seems to have a vendetta against a little bit of the strategists here, taking out 2 of the 4 really viable healing ultimate strategists from the pool. So we won't see that Luna Snow, but we will see Ultron. So maybe leaning towards more of a triple support, double tank composition here. On the other side, Odyssey, protecting that Venom makes sense. Why they banned that Psylocke, I'm not entirely sure what kind of overall composition they want to go for, but we did see how effective the Spider-Man was on the side of Odyssey from the last Cozy Cash Cup. So it should be pretty exciting to see that again if they want to keep it.
Oh, it was so fun to watch that Spider-Man in that first, like, what was it, the first round of the Cash Cup? They had a Spider-Man, and he was just out there eating.
Oh yeah, especially on defense, it was kind of impressive to see how he was able to flexibly move his plane around to be effective, especially on defense is just quite a bit more difficult than playing Spider-Man on attack. And want to see what Odyssey wants to finish up this ban phase with? No more? Yes, okay, so we are probably gonna see the Spider-Man here. Especially if they keep Venom as well as ban the more, it's very much leaning towards more of a divey composition. And because it's domination, neither team will be on attack or defense, so Spider-Man will be quite effective here. We'll have to see what Dreamland wants to do to counter.
Yeah, I'm fully expecting to see Spider-Man completely dominate the back lanes of whatever team it is, either attack or defense. Spider-Man's going to be on every off angle, just picking every support main apart, just trying to make life a little bit more difficult and essentially controlling what you would think are the established lanes of the map for the attackers and just absolutely making life miserable.
Oh, okay. I'm very, very excited to see how this kind of pans out. We see this last ban is a Star-Lord ban, so maybe a little bit scared of that new team up with Rocket. Or in general, just Star-Lord did get quite a bit better. So it might just be that overall, but we have to get into this game. And looking at the side of Odyssey, we do see a fairly aggressive composition. I'm not entirely sure why the top bar is not ordered. Actually, I don't think it was ever ordered, actually, but never mind. But we do see a double tank, or like a 2-2-2 composition from Odyssey, as well as from the side of Dreamland, we do see triple strategists. So we will only have Chime on this DPS pick on the Human Torch, which did get nerfed this patch. Damage is down on his right click or his alternate fire, as well as that flame wall. So it should take up a little bit longer for him to build that ultimate charge. But with the Ultron, should be able to hold quite a high presence in the air.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how Chime's gonna be able to put any kind of damage or sustain out there that's gonna make Odyssey kind of shake and make them maybe lose their footing at all. Because it just kind of seems like their composition is stacked outwardly, and right immediately we already have damage going out. Jitward's trying to make a move here.
Yeah, we do see here from the side of Odyssey, Jitward trying to get someone off the map. Oh, does get a nice pull there on Mace. Mace straight off the map. Didn't get that Diamond Form off in time to prevent that knockback. But countered there by Valentina does end up getting the pick there back on Jitward. But one tank down from the side of Dreamland is really going to stall them out here.
Yeah, you see Soko out here just absolutely dominating the point right now, just trying to push off Dreamland in any way that he can. He's just got his whole team there backing him. It's like, okay, yeah, if you're feeling froggy, go ahead and leave.
Yeah, and we do see Mace.
You see Samba, or who is it? Chuckles there trying to get like a off angle here, trying to maybe push Soko off point.
Yeah, we do see that pick there on Jabori, and that Spider-Man might stay alive here, just barely gonna die there. Maybe a little bit of missed movement, but still pretty effective trade there. One strategist for one DPS. And as Chime kind of comes here on the corner, we do see Stingers popping his own ultimate, this Ultron ultimate, to get that pressure onto the point. And with nothing to follow up from on Odyssey, it looks like they might, or they actually probably are gonna give it the point here as we see the rest of Odyssey fall.
Yeah, and it looks like my my whole, I guess, question was really answered. There seems to be just enough sustain out there that Chime is able to just go out there and be a menace, especially if, you know, Stinkers and Jabori and Chuckles are all just out there coordinating their targets.
Yeah, it's an interesting composition for the Spider-Man to deal with, because even though he got that pretty early pick on Jabori, because they still had two strategists left, there wasn't really too much for the follow-up, and with Stinkers having that Ultron ultimate, being able to keep up that pressure, was able to actually close out the fight pretty cleanly. Jabori, again, in a really bad spot, but does have ultimate if he needs it. Odyssey having a slight ultimate advantage, gets pulled away by Chitward. There goes one defensive ultimate from the side of Dreamland. Oh, Chuckles actually dies on the side there while I was talking. And that's one person down for Dreamlands, nothing for Odyssey, and not too many ultimates committed just yet.
Yeah, so Mace might go down here if he's not able to get sustained. Oh, and Jabori actually, the quick target swap, called out. Stinkers manages to stay up as well. I mean, there's just a lot of damage going out right now. Stinkers finally falls. Valentina is just going to be it there on the point, and I don't know if she's even going to be able to sustain very much longer, as Chime is out here just doing everything and just everything imaginable to trying to keep the point alive, and it just doesn't look like it's going to have the momentum. Sits on the point, manages to get the cap and the flip, and, you know, it's going back in Odyssey's direction.
Yeah, I think Odyssey did a quite good job there utilizing their small ultimate advantage, especially since they didn't have to use something like an Ultron ult to win that first fight, because they ended up losing it. But yeah, using that advantage, Jitward finding that early pick with his ultimate, as well as just overall a very spread out fight, really does benefit Odyssey.
Yeah, they're making absolute use of this space, and it just, you can tell they're just really well coordinated. Mace wasn't really able to do anything there. He got caught off guard, off balance, so he's gonna have to, you know, think about what he needs to do in this next fight.
Yeah, Jitward and Self here both going super deep, using the ultimate from Self to put a lot of damage to help that Spider-Man finish off those kills. And Jitward finding a kill, or actually getting traded, doesn't actually find the kill there, unfortunately. And with no ultimates, Odyssey is kind of on the back foot going into this next fight. We have Mace on the side, kind of opening up this angle, gonna look for this Meteor M. Does he get this anything? That's a shield blocked. Good, nice block there from Soko. Really nice bubble. Actually, Mace ends up going down using his ultimate, which is kind of an unfortunate pick. Chime going down as well. Not much damage left for the side of Dreamland, but they do have to touch. Jitward kind of staying on the side, maybe looking for the portal here. Yeah, he does pull the portal away from the Doctor Strange, so that's no portal.
Oh my goodness, that's some great presence of mind right there. Way to be in the moment.
Yeah, and as the rest of Odyssey actually kind of losing the point here, they can just kind of walk back, and Mace putting a lot of damage out here on the Doctor Strange. Oh, we do see Sombla, I can't see the rest of the name. This Venom is actually going to stay alive just long enough to let his team walk back. But with the commitment of the ultimate from Chime, is that going to be enough? Jitward using his ult straight into Valentina's ult. Doesn't find too much value on that Spider-Man ult.
Yeah, and Dreamland manages to flip it in overtime. Huge plays being made both by Chime and Jabori, just putting their feet 10 toes in the sand and saying, hey, if you can move me, give it your best shot.
Yeah, we just see Jitward kind of running around the map, just being a menace. And honestly, he's doing a great job pulling people out of place. There goes Mace in a really bad spot. Gonna get surrounded there by the side of Odyssey. Not gonna be able to finish off the kill, but that's a lot of resources used from the side of Dreamland, and ends up getting the kill on Mace. Now we have Chuckles here out in the open with nothing to help. And as he runs back to his team, Odyssey has already taken up a lot of space. This fight really spread out. I think they're gonna add a huge advantage. Oh, but Self getting kind of caught out. No healers in sight, but Chime probably gonna get traded for that, as he also went quite deep.
Yeah, and Jabori out here also putting out quite a bit of damage as well. I don't think that it's going to make much of a difference, though, as, who was that? Was it Mace just got pulled right off? And
yeah,
you know,
the Captain America.
Yeah,
Jitward
so
really
quick.
putting up an impressive performance there, using that drop-off point to get a ton of value on the Spider-Man, really put up a lot of threat. I think that was honestly pretty impressive. Just trying to walk out there, we really saw Dreamland wanting to play inside, not really wanting to deal with that drop-off with Jitward on the Spider-Man. And overall, I think Dreamland did a good job, Chime putting out a lot of pressure, and with the triple strat, just makes it kind of hard to kill. But again, Jitward really pulling them apart here. Mace on both the Strange and the Magneto was really struggling to position himself effectively because he has to be in the front, but put yourself a little too far forward, and you get pulled out of place, and that's a free kill. And when one of the tanks goes down for the side of Dreamland, Odyssey just kind of pounces on them, and when the fights get really, really messy, they seem to come out on top.
Yeah, it seems Odyssey's biggest strength whenever they have that Spider-Man in play is really just getting the other team off balance with the respawns and just making sure they stay ahead of the respawns.
Yeah, and we do see here Odyssey swapping off of that Spider-Man, probably because there is no pull-off point on this map. There's no environmental kill potential. And as we see both of these Venoms get to the point here, it is going to be triple strategist against triple strategist for Dreamland and Odyssey here. Jitward now on this, Dreamland... Odyssey gonna match the comp of Dreamland. There goes the Ultron ult from the side of Dreamland, but nice snipe there from Jitward. Gonna really put them out of commission. And Jabori gonna have to pop his own ultimate here to respond. That is both of the defensive ultimates from Dreamland that are currently available. And as Jitward probably gets his own ultimate, he's probably gonna pop it. And oh, actually, here comes out Meteor M from Mace. Gets blocked again. Nice block there from Soko.
Yeah, and Momentum ends up going down there as well, so it's really just going to be Jitward and Renko here on the point trying to keep Odyssey sustained in the fight. As Sambo as well is over here playing chicken. I don't know when he's going to push his E, but he's got me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, and here comes out Chime with the Supernova. Let's see if we can get really putting a lot of pressure as Odyssey tries to touch this point. Yeah, as Odyssey tries to touch this point, there's really nothing they can do as Chime just kind of blasts them down. A ton of damage over time, especially for those fire tornadoes, and because Odyssey did want to contest, they just kind of walked through it, and unfortunately that's going to lead to a full wipe.
Yeah, Dreamland telling everybody, hey, look, I know that we lost that last round, but it's not over yet. You know, we're here to trade, we're here to bang, and, you know, you guys are going to know our name by the end of this. Mace is also just out here just putting his team on the line.
Yeah, Dreamland doing good here, but they are down quite a few ultimates. Here comes out Senko with his own ultimate here. Here comes out Supernova. Is gonna get responded to by Jabori. That Soul Resurgence, and not really finding too much to yourself, not as much as Chime did. And as both of these Ultron ultimates come out, we see Stinkers and Jitward. Stinkers actually gonna find the pick there on Renko after his Soul Resurgence runs out, and that's a lot of damage coming out from the side of Dreamland.
Yeah, and Jitward gets the trade though with Valentina Eve as well. So it's basically, you know, you just still got two supports sitting there on point right now, and just all of the DPS going out as well. I mean, you see Chime and Mace just constantly like they're attacking the same target at all times. The coordination and the callouts and the comms is just very, very crisp.
Yeah, there's a lot of coordination from the side of Dreamland. I really like how they're kind of like focusing on specific targets and kind of isolating these fights really effectively. I think when Odyssey lost that Spider-Man, they kind of lost that pick potential, that Spider-Man being able to pull people out of place. And we'll have to see if Odyssey can recover here. But yeah, they're going to be pushing up here to this point with a slight ultimate advantage. Let's see if Odyssey can make anything of it.
Yeah, you see Stumble immediately diving in, just trying to get that Human Torch, and just gets punished for it. Chuckles out here as well, just popping his ultimate, trying to make something happen, just trying to sustain this point. It's 99-0. We're in overtime right now. Mace with a huge Meteor M on Momentum.
Yeah, that should be really effective. That's one strategist down. That's two strategists down from the side of Odyssey. There shouldn't be anything like Jitward also goes down. That's nothing left. Towards the side of Odyssey, and it's gonna be a cleanup. That's gonna be a really solid cleanup from the side of Dreamland. Not even a ton of ultimates expended.
Yeah, no, that was an absolute masterclass in how you rise and overcome from adversity. You know, they were down coming into this round from the previous round where, you know, it didn't look like they had enough DPS to sustain, but, you know, they're out here proving me wrong. They're showing me that, you know, all it really takes is just a little bit of 2v1 coordination, and you can make anything happen in this game, so long as you've got three really stout supports that got your back.
Get ready.
Yeah, I think it's pretty impressive. Dreamland really showing their honestly, their coordination and their pick potential, they really found these early picks by coordinating damage. And Odyssey didn't do a terrible job either, but especially without that Spider-Man, as I was talking about earlier, they couldn't find these people out of position. I think Dreamland did a great job positioning themselves effectively to both find picks and to prevent themselves from being in vulnerable positions. And because both of these comps are basically mirrored, it does make it a bit harder for Odyssey, especially on this last map. There's no drop-off points, there's no environmental kill potential, so no Spider-Man here again. Although I'm not sure if that's a mistake.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with this map. I don't know if it's going to be a really heavy Spider-Man map where you can get a lot of pulls. It kind of looks like you actually might be able to. So yeah, I really do think that potentially Jitward, you know, this is their call. They know their team best, but I really do think that they might get more value out of a Spider-Man in this kind of a competition or setup.
I mean, I don't think there's a ton of environmental kills, but yeah, I mean, as these ultimates are coming out, that's both defensive ults from this side of Odyssey. Dreamland actually coming out with a huge advantage as they use Valentina's ult from honestly really high up. I'm not entirely sure how that happens, but yeah, they're going to be able to get onto this point, get a lot of pressure, and I think Odyssey is going to start running out of steam. There's not too many defensive ultimates. Actually, there's no defensive ultimates available from the side of Odyssey, and as the healing starts to run dry, let's see who comes out on top. Mace going incredibly low, going to end up getting picked, and Chime actually not finding a ton of damage. Almost gonna find Jitward, but not enough. Actually does end up getting the kill, but there's not too much left for the side of Dreamland.
Yeah, Odyssey caps the point, and they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna clean up, and they're gonna force Dreamland to have to reset and reassess.
Yeah, I think Odyssey wins that just by the skin of their teeth, and Stinker's actually gonna TP in immediately, maybe a little bit too early. I don't think everyone has respawned from the side of Dreamland, but they're gonna be able to jump through this portal very quickly and get back to this point. And I think Odyssey is actually at a slight advantage here. Soko gonna have his ultimate, this Meteor M, maybe gonna find quite a lot of value unless he wants to save it. Chime going super low, but Supernova is up. Let's see which team wants to engage initially. And here goes Chime with the ultimate. Soko immediately matching.
When the Meteor M goes out, he doesn't get any value out of it. It's really unfortunate. Chime also, though, is pumping out so much damage right now, but he gets picked off by Jitward, seemingly unaware. Soko and Mace just duking it out on this point. Oh, another Meteor M goes out, and he goes down. Jitward finding the pick. That was huge.
Well, actually, Mace on Jitward, a really nice Meteor M from Mace. And honestly, not a huge ultimate commitment, but it does seem like Odyssey is going to start running out of steam here. No more strategies left, just the tanks. Let's see if they do want to TP back to point. Then as Venom goes down, there's nothing left here. I think Jitward and Momentum were coming back on the respawns, but a little bit too late there.
Yeah, Dreamland is going to come back to this, though, too. They have the point, and they also have the they have Cloak and Dagger ultimate as well, and that's going to be huge for maintaining this point. It's going to give them the ability to create space and maintain that space as well. So we're going to see how this next team fight plays out.
Yeah, and as we see Odyssey kind of climbing up here on this high ground, let's see how effectively they can take the space. And as we see Self kind of walking out here, almost going to get the pick on Jabori, super far out on his own, and ends up getting picked. Not the greatest positioning there. That's pretty unfortunate, as Chime also gets picked trying to back up Jabori there.
Yeah, and those are two huge picks, and you see immediately Cloak and Dagger's ultimate goes out, trying to create that space, trying to create that lane, keeping it really tight, and we see a counter ultimate as well go out by Momentum. This is looking like it's gonna be quite the slugfest. Self gets the double pick on both tanks. That's Stinkers and Mace going down. I think that this point's gonna flip in Odyssey's direction, and it does, and we're gonna see another reset on Dreamland's part.
Yeah, and nice execution there. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I think Dreamland is a little bit out of luck here. Not too many ultimates. They are going to be coming up on maybe 2 ultimates, but Odyssey as well. And I honestly, that combo there from the Venom on the side of Odyssey, Sombo, as we can see on here, and Self, using that Venom ult to do a ton of damage, plus the Fire Tornadoes from the Supernova was really effective in getting that early double kill that did secure the fight there for Odyssey. And Dreamland only going to have 2 tank ultimates coming up here early. Maybe he's going to have this invisible boundary, but it's going to be kind of late here. Here comes out Meteor M. He's looking for Jitward, but Jitward's already been picked, so he's going to try to find a sniper on Self, but that is nothing. And Soko might going to have to use his own ultimate here to try to keep the point. And here comes Stinker, and Soko is going to immediately match, getting that invisible boundary out. Very nice snipe there from Soko.
Self gets a huge pick on Stinkers. That is actually really fast. Stinkers just had his ultimate. Momentum picks off Chime. That's a lot of DPS off the board for Dreamland. Are they going to be able to respond? Renko takes down Chuckles. Jitward takes down Mace. And I think this is going to be a decisive route in Odyssey's favor.
Yeah, Odyssey showing a really excellent performance, doing super well in the first round, maybe losing their footing a little bit on that second map, but when they need them the most, some very nice execution, and honestly great ultimate economy from the side of Odyssey helps them pull through.
Yeah, and you know, nothing. I mean, it was great ultimate management by Odyssey, but also as well on the part of Dreamland as well. You know, Dreamland was able to do a lot with with less. They typically realistically only had about 2 ultimates ever out on the board at any given time. So I mean, they were really making some stuff work there. But shout outs to Odyssey. They were the week or the 9th Cozy Cash Cup champions. So you know, I see them going all the way in this.
Yeah, I think they'll be sent to losers bracket, where they are going to have to fight their way through a few games. Let me check the bracket here real fast so you guys can take a look at it. And yes, we will have, it will be Dreamland being sent to losers round 4, which is losers finals, against Outlaws Gaming, Calamity, or the Gold Standard, depending on who wins in round 2 and in round 3. We will have, whenever this ends up updating, we will have Odyssey going to grand finals, and they will have to only win once. Whoever comes from losers bracket will have to win twice. So yeah, that should be pretty exciting. Is there any of the teams from the loser side that you might want to talk about here, Mash, that is pretty interesting?
Well, I'm Muff.
Oh, Muff,
yeah,
sorry.
No, you're good. Honestly, I really think that Calamity is probably going to pull it together. We're going to see a Calamity Outlast Gaming losers round 3 here, and I think it's going to be anybody's game. Or sorry, it's going to be a Dreamland Outlast. It's going to be anybody's game here. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, and as I was talking about a little bit earlier, we can take a little bit of a look at Boat Bashers. Oh god, trying to say that I was really struggling a little bit as we wait for the next game to start. So yeah, if you guys want to take a little bit of a look at this game, I can explain it a little bit. Here is a tutorial provided in the game. So you have to press left or right. So if you're on computers or on a computer, it is A or D, or you can use your arrow keys as well. So left and right arrow keys. And your primary objective is to keep your penguin on the empty side of the boat. And every time you press a button, you will hit a boat down. And then there are these different power-ups they can collect. So these little rubber duckies, I'm not entirely sure what they are, but they do look like rubber duckies. They give you extra points. And then the hourglass gives you more time. And you just play until you you mostly play until you run out of time. If you get hit on the head, you do get stunned for like half a second, maybe like 0.7 seconds. And that prevents you from like doing anything. So you do lose quite a lot of time in your timer. And I can demonstrate that here in a little bit. So yeah, so I'll show you. If you get hit, you do see the little stun animation. And as you can see on the top middle, there is a timer going down. And when I press left and right, I am hitting the boats out of the way. And I can collect these different power-ups to get more time, as you saw right there, or get points. So that is currency, and this is time. And this rubber ducky you'll see on the top gives me an extra point because that was a yellow rubber ducky, but the different color rubber duckies give you more or less points. So if I can find another rubber ducky, so this orange one should give me 2, or it gives me 3 points, and I think the black one gives you 5. And it's a pretty exciting game, and there is a leaderboard that I can show you guys real fast. I'll actually let my character pass away here a little bit. Actually, I actually don't know what happens after the game. Maybe it is just a competition and they lose. And when we look at the leaderboard, we can see the different players that are playing. Oh, actually, it doesn't show it there right now. So I can take a look at this other leaderboard. At the current moment, I am currently in first place. Yep, I will do a little bit of a flex here. That is Grant and Tyler, I believe, in second and third place. And if you guys are excited about this game, give it a try. It is on PC, Android, and iOS, and should be available right now if you guys want to try it. And while we're doing this Boat Bashers break, you guys should definitely give it a try as we're waiting for this next game. I will take a quick pause here to do a little bit of maintenance here to make sure that we can get into the next game, but I will be back real fast after I get that set up, and we'll play a little bit of Boat Bashers as we wait for the next game to start. I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'll leave you guys with the bracket here. Hey guys, welcome back to the Cozy Cash Cup. We are returning here for this next game on Losers Semifinals, or Losers Round 3. And we will be watching Calamity versus Outlast Gaming. We just had the bracket updated, so it will be pretty quick here. And then whoever wins this will be playing against Dreamland, so Calamity or Outlast Gaming versus Dreamland in Losers Finals. And whoever wins that will be back in Finals. And we can talk a little bit more here about the map. I think we did get the map here, which should be, let me get it up here real fast for you guys. Midtown on Empire of Eternal Night. Is there anything exciting about this map, or it's something that you're really interested in? I think we've seen this map quite a few times here in the Cozy Cash Cup muff.
Man, this is one of my personal favorites. I think that every time we watch this map, we're always in for a treat because you always see teams get really creative after that first point, because you know just how important it is, because especially as you get to this point right here in the subway, this is probably the most pivotal part of the match, and honestly I think it typically determines who's gonna basically advance to the end of the round. I think you've got a lot of tight corridors, you've got a lot of flanking opportunity. Typically you see flyers tend to have the most they have the most success on this map, because with how tight everything is and how chaotic things can get, the flyers kind of get lost in the sauce. So yeah, I really appreciate this map. We're in for a treat, and folks, buckle up.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to get into the match here pretty quickly. And yeah, I think Human Torch is very strong, so we probably will see him again or get banned, so that should be pretty exciting. And we can play a little bit of both Bashers as we wait for the next game to get into the lobby. So I'll show you guys a little bit of gameplay. If it is a little fast,
run from the master.
Yeah, if it is a little fast, oh, there you go, messing up a little bit here. If you guys think you guys can do better than I am currently as I am talking, definitely give the game a try out on Cozyverse. And yeah, it's also available on iOS and Android. Be sure to leave a review if you guys did enjoy the game. I think the art style is quite great. And in PC mode, it actually has a pretty nice large background. But on iOS, I noticed it was vertical. So I am playing it on PC mode, so you guys can see the whole landscape here. And let's see what kind of score I can get before the game starts here. I'm not entirely sure if the game is starting. I might actually have to check here in a second. And yeah, it is pretty fun here. I actually enjoyed the game quite a bit. And you can play this as fast or as slow as you want, as every time you hit a boat off, you do get a little bit of time back. So as you get farther and farther into your score, the timer goes down faster and faster. So yeah, you can get up to pretty high scores, and it gets pretty chaotic and exciting. And hopefully that adds some more modes and whatnot. And I can actually hear the game starting in the background here in a second. So we'll take a quick pause here real fast and move over to the game.
That was incredible, Chad. I don't know, my jaw was dropped. Anyways, we've got a Human Torch ban right out the gate too, so I'm very interested. I'm sitting at the edge of my seat right now as to how this composition is going to play out.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting here. Human Torch, as I was talking about the Flyers, as you were talking about earlier, the Flyers are quite good on this map, so Human Torch getting banned will hopefully allow us to see some more unique or interesting compositions here. And with two strategies protected off the bat, Mantis being quite strong now. That buff from the Season 3.5 patch where they added Blade, making her quite a bit stronger, in my opinion. Yeah, that being protected as well. I'm curious to see if we're going to see more triple support or triple strategist compositions here. And if Wolverine bans, maybe we'll see triple tank from the side of Calamity. Although I'm not entirely sure about that just yet.
The Jean Grey ban as well, so right away we have two major DPSers and great flankers getting banned off of the board, and we're going to go ahead and see Captain America get protected here. That's going to be an interesting protection. I think that, Outlast actually has something up their sleeves with Captain America for this map in particular.
Yeah, and honestly, sorry, I was updating the bottom part there if you guys were checking. But yeah, I think a triple strategist is pretty popular, so that Phoenix ban and Human Torch ban is not too surprising, as triple strategist comps do like to ball up quite a bit more death bally. And with this Loki protection from Calamity and the Ultron ban, they're definitely trying to play a more traditional standard 2-2-2 composition, really trying to force Outlast Gaming on the back foot here. But with the group ban from the side of Outlast Gaming, that's one of the stronger tanks off the board, so we'll probably see Emma Frost, Magneto once again, maybe even some Strange. Strange is still very good. I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all. And yeah, it should be pretty exciting to see what strategists are picked here, as there's quite a large variety here on the board except for the Luna Snow. But yeah, everything else is on the table.
Yeah, I think I see both teams here kind of, you know, working it out amongst themselves, trying to figure out what's going to be the most ideal composition for themselves. And I think, like I said, it's going to get really creative here. I don't... Penny? Are we going to really see Penny play here? That'd be really awesome.
Oh, I think Penny is quite good on defense, especially on this map. I think a traditional, or like some triple tank compositions do like to run it because, as we see quite common on the first point for this map, people do love running the triple tank composition, or triple tank triple strategist, where you basically just hole up in this room right here, the one that Tamuz is currently setting up in, and it's really hard to push past that as they can just kind of stand and cycle on point. And Calamity kind of seems to have their number. Zyphon already on that Squirrel Girl, ready to push them out of that tight choke. But Outlast Gaming kind of calling, actually holding up on this high ground quite far away. I'm actually a little bit surprised here. Let's see how it goes for both of these teams.
Yeah, Outlast looking to give quite a bit of space here to Calamity. Calamity's going to have quite a bit of room to work with to kind of come out and game plan here. And you see Tyrell actually kind of making his way across the map, trying to make sure that he's keeping his teammates inside so he can keep the heals coming. Felicity's getting mixy, and Zyphon as well is getting very mixy as well. She hot swapped off of Stroll Girl onto Storm, and is actually putting out quite a bit of damage here.
Yeah, that Rocket Beacon resurrecting that Magneto on that first pick there. A lot of damage coming out from the side of Calamity, especially with that Moon Knight being able to bounce off of those Loki clones and all the Penny stuff. And yeah, I mean, there's a ton of ult charge going to the side of Outlast Gaming as well for the strategists, as there is a lot of damage from both teams. And Calamity kind of getting stopped here, losing one person. That is one of their tanks. They're not going to be able to push for a little bit. So I think Outlast Gaming does have a small advantage here.
Yeah, and as we see here, Versa as well is also kind of trying to stay a little bit mixy here, perhaps feeling a little bit of that low-key debuff, debuff, that nerf that he sustained, where he went from, what was it, 30 damage to 25?
25, yeah. And
yeah, so
honestly,
I mean, that's going to be pretty significant.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the ult built any slower though, honestly, and Calamity just kind of saving their ults to try to get that really big bust with a bunch of ultimates. Zyphon and Shenhe having both of their DPS ultimates, and as we see them come up, Calamity going to the side here, gonna try to get this high ground, push them to a single death ball, and then just get that either an Eye of Agamotto or probably Zyphon here on this with Omega Hurricane here for the Storm, probably just gonna straight up blast them out of that corner.
Yeah, I mean, this is really Calamity's game control here. They have their ultimates. They're going out here. You're going to see a huge dump go out. Outlast is also going to have to be trying to respond with their own. Only one support ultimate going out right now, and that's going to be Cloak and Daggers. Did we get anything from the Eye of Agamotto? No, we didn't. Wild Thing got nothing out of that. That's going to kind of hurt his team a little bit, and I think we're going to stall out here at this point for a little bit longer.
Yeah, not too much from the Meteor M either. Felicity actually going to commit another ultimate here to this fight. We do see another Meteor M here come out from the side of Outlast Gaming, not gonna get too much. And unfortunately, it does look like Calamity is gonna get stopped in their tracks completely. I'm not entirely sure if Outlast Gaming can keep this up. Here comes out Spider. I forgot what the ultimate is called actually, but it is the Penny Parker ultimate. Not a huge ultimate, but definitely something that can push back the side of Calamity. And Calamity having these faster reads is at a slight advantage. Felicity actually going to try to run back here on the Captain America, as Calamity is just trying to stall out and hold on this point.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at it earlier right before that fight started, and Calamity had 6 ultimates ready to go, and they just kind of seemingly dumped them all out there, a little uncoordinated here. But you see that I believe that's Calamity with 2 picks to Outlast 1 right there, so we might actually start seeing something, some momentum here trying to build. Climate and Tyrell both going down. That's going to be huge. Yes, we are going to see some momentum. Calamity's not done yet.
Oh, okay, actually, we're going to have a strange portal here to try to reinforce one more time. Oh, they're actually trying to bait someone into the portal, I think, a little bit. But as they come out here, they're going to get one more touch here. Here comes out Versa on this Cloak and Dagger copied ultimate. And yeah, they're going to get one more touch here at the Zyphon with his own ultimate to match. Shenhe actually going to not get too much there off of that Horn of Proteus. Here comes Zyphon. Let's see if we can get, match there by that Rocket Ultimate, but that Rocket Ultimate gonna go away super fast, so that's not a great commitment. Tornado gonna combo with Body here to push this Emma Frost ult, gonna get 2. That's gonna be 2 picks there with the Emma Frost ult, very effective, and with the rest of the team going down, Outlast Gaming doesn't have anything left here to keep pushing this point.
Yeah, that's gonna be a full team wipe.
Or sorry, to keep blocking the point.
Yeah, Calamity is gonna probably walk this straight into the first point. We're gonna go straight from overtime, and we're gonna keep this thing going.
Yeah, it was a pretty effective play there from Calamity, comboing with the Emma Frost ultimate to get those free kills on those tanks and strategists. Let's see if Calamity kind of go for the big 180, doesn't really find anything. Unfortunately, Aunt Nancy's gonna have to follow with a defensive ultimate, as Kikyo also does the same. Look at the Wild Thing, does get an Eye of Agamotto, but blocked by that Magneto shield. Calamity doing a good job blocking for his team, and adds a ton of damage, and healing is coming out. Let's see what ultimates come up here next. But Outlast Gaming actually can run out of steam faster, even though they do have that triple strategist. Calamity just doing a better job at focusing their damage. Verso gonna try to stay on point here, but that's not gonna be enough here for the side of Outlast Gaming to hold on.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a tough reset for Outlast. They have a long run ahead of them. But they are winning the Ultimate War here. They do have something up their sleeves. They can make a huge stop here in this the second point.
Yeah, the second point here, gonna go onto this big choke here, which is actually pretty close to the exit, so there's not gonna be too many fights here for Outlast Gaming. But Outlast Gaming gonna try to walk out here. Tamu's using that Soul Resurgence. Is he gonna find anything? Tyrell actually gonna pop his own Psylocke ultimate, Dance of the Butterfly to try to get anything, but Zyphon actually gonna use his own Omega Hurricane to try to back up Outlast Gaming. Or to make Outlast Gaming back up. And as all these ultimates come out, Climate does get picked kind of early, so Verso copying that Soul Resurgence is not nearly as effective.
Yeah, Verso is now without his ultimate. Felicity also popping her ultimate. Vada as well popping her counter Emma Frost ultimate, and that is actually going to kind of set the stage here for this choke point right now. As Verso is trying to do anything he can to give his team some sort of space and give them hope in this fight, and it does not look like Calamity or Outlast Gaming, I'm sorry, is going to take this team fight here, as Calamity just keeps on marching forward. And you see Kikyo's ultimate as well go out. That is a Cloak and Dagger ultimate. That's going to give a lot of space and a lot of room for Calamity to work with here.
Yeah, let's see if Wild Thing can land this Eye of Agamotto. That's important, but Clement actually getting this Meteor M fast. Gonna look for a pick here really quick. What does he get? That's nothing. Blocked by the shield. Here comes the Eye of Agamotto from Wild Thing. Does get one, but that's not too much value, especially since Outlast Gaming is on that Cloak and Dagger ultimate. And nice hold there from Outlast Gaming. Actually gonna hold on just at the end of that push.
Yeah, Tyrell reaching into his big bag of tricks, and I believe that was actually technically a quad that he got right there. Popping, actually didn't even need his ultimate there. That was incredible. Also, shout out to Aunt Nancy there. I don't know if you caught that, but when Wild Thing went to go pop his Eye of Agamotto, Nancy actually cloaked out of it. That was really good presence of mind.
Hashtag, but thanks for calling that out. And as we see from the side of Calamity, gonna try to TP onto the back line here with Zyphon popping some Mega Hurricane, but taking a ton of damage. Here comes out both defensive ults from Outlast Gaming. Tornado gonna match it with his own. Gonna try to find a safe spot to stand. Tyrell gonna look for this flank here on his high ground. Really effective, not even taking any pressure. Calamity's kind of in a bad spot, caught between a rock and a hard place. Here comes out the Dance of the Butterfly. That's gonna be one, probably two followed up there. And here comes the rest of Outlast Gaming to follow up on this play, and that should be enough there. No more help on this Namor, and straight out of the park. Calamity gonna get held on second point.
Yeah, that was an incredible hold by Outlast. I'll be really honest. I mean, I was talking as if I had already written them off, and they were like, Muff, what are you talking about, buddy? We've got tons of fight left in us. You know, Tyrell just reaching into his bag of tricks, like I said, and just absolutely, not necessarily putting his team on his back, but saying, hey, look, this is a big moment for my team, and I'm going to make this happen. And I mean, he just got all the key picks whenever they needed him. That's incredible.
Yeah, it was an incredible display, honestly. That Psylocke being really effective. And honestly, the support ultimate value that Outlast Gaming was getting was quite good as well. Calamity committing a lot of their ultimates pretty early in the fight, maybe a little bit of miscommunication, especially in that final fight there. And the positioning overall, really good for Outlast Gaming. We did see Tyrell going on to the flank with the Psylocke, basically taking no pressure from the side of Calamity, and really just being a thorn in their side. And with that dance of the butterfly at the end, was able to close out that round. Let's see if the side of Calamity wants to do something similar to Outlast Gaming with that triple tank, triple support composition, as we kind of see currently. So a pretty similar mirror match, as well as a pretty similar composition from the side of Outlast Gaming. Gonna try to put out a lot of damage with the Storm and Squirrel Girl. So let's see how fast he can get to this first point. Depending on how fast you tend to get to this first point, the rest of the map kind of rolls from there. We did see Outlast Gaming do a great job holding them up, holding up Calamity here. So let's see how long Calamity can bog down the side of Outlast Gaming.
Yeah, this is gonna be a slog for Outlast, because you know, triple support, triple tank is gonna be a little rough to kind of get through, especially right here. If Calamity is really locked in. See a lot of damage going out to Terrell, as well as building up ultimate actually rather quickly right now.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Calamity doesn't really want to hold this high ground, but already finding that fast pick on Climate, doing a ton of damage, really focusing him down. I think that Emma Frost grab was what got him there. And they're going to push back the side of Outlast Gaming super fast. Outlast Gaming doesn't want to waste any time waiting for more resets if they lose one person. Timu's going to try to contest this high ground, but not really going to have too much. Oh, nice shot there on the Loki. That's actually really impactful. Gets him to drop to low ground, so that's high ground control back to Outlast Gaming. Let's see how far they can push this, as we're going to have to see Calamity back up here to try to regain that positioning.
Yeah, they're getting a ton of space here. If they be smart, if they're going to pop that Storm ultimate. Oh, and then they are. Good. You know, take full advantage of the fact that Calamity doesn't have any support ultimates left. Tear right through regeneration domain, and yeah, while he went down, I think that's going to be actually a lot of value for Outlast. It's going to give them a lot of space. Timu's going to pump out a lot of damage here. Gets to pick on Kikuo, who is the potion dagger as well. Felicity gets to pick on Wild Thing, and I mean, we have an absolute trade fest on our hands, folks.
Dude, an absolutely delectable combo there from the Squirrel Girl and Emma Frost. The Emma Frost grab into the Squirrel Girl root. Really cool, really nicely done. Oh, Climate landing too. Very nice. Meteor M, really effective. That's 2 strategists down. That's basically no more sustain left for the side of Calamity. Tornado is going to try to be solo on point here, keep his team alive, but that's not going to be anything against Outlast Gaming. Really nicely done from Climate.
Yeah, Outlast Gaming really needed this to capitalize on the fact that, I mean, it just took so long for Calamity to get to this point last round that, you know, if you can capitalize on this momentum, you can keep it rolling, you can potentially seal this pretty quickly. We're going to see a Doctor Strange portal go out. We're going to see one last attempt potentially on this last point here. Zyphon is actually looking for a Eye of Agamotto here. It's going to be huge. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. Felicity pops her Emma Frost ultimate. Wild Thing pops her Emma Frost ultimate. We have lots of ultimates going out right now, folks. It's huge.
Yeah, I think Bada is actually just waiting for his chance to use that Meteor, but those go down a little early. That's no more Rocket Res. Zyphon gonna have to back up with the rest of the team. Here comes Timu's Squirrel Stampede. That's not gonna be too much value. It's kind of in an open area. Terrell gonna try to follow it up, but already going down, losing one. Outlast Gaming kind of on the back foot. Here comes Bada, wants to find something. Uses that jetpack to get as high as he can. Does go up, Climate blocks it. Nice block there from the side of Outlast Gaming. Zyphon trying to do a little bit here, trying to stay alive on point, but Tyrell gonna find 2 more. Here comes out the amplifier from Shenhe that's immediately gonna get bursted down from the side of Outlast Gaming. Nancy gonna commit on the point. There goes Eternal Bond. Let's see if they can get copied by Kiko. Kiko gonna actually go to copy the rocket ult. Thought it was gonna be the Eternal Bond, but actually gonna get burned down super fast from the side of Outlast Gaming. Maybe not the right choice of ultimate, maybe misclicked.
Yeah, and Zyphon's still holding on to that ultimate as well. I don't think that I think he potentially could have gotten a lot of value out of that with his teammate or with his teammates there. But you know, Outlast doing a lot with basically nothing there. They had no ultimates to expend, and they were just holding on. And I mean, just great teamwork from the side of Outlast here as we move into this last potential team fight.
Ooh, we see Shenhe going to his signature Winter Soldier. Does pretty effective, and we'll have to see how effective that is at matching the Storm. And let's see how much more ult charge this Storm can get before the fight starts. Here goes Zyphon, whipping ultimate. That only gets 1, I think, and that's actually not going to be too much. Here goes Verso, going to use this Eternal Bond ultimate combined with Felicity. Let's see how many stuns he can get. That's 2. That's going to be 1 free pick there. The second one about to be in the pocket. Climate actually going to pop Meteor M to keep himself alive. Nice value there. From the side of Outlast Gaming. Sorry, he didn't use it to stay alive. Climate actually used it to follow up Felicity there. But nicely done for Outlast Gaming. That was a clean wipe. There is probably only 1 touch, but it's going to be very scuffed here from the side of Calamity.
Yeah, it's going to be very close if Calamity can pull it off here. I see Shenhe swaps over to Star-Lord. And immediately Terrell actually Storm ult, trying to keep some space out there. see the forced regeneration domain go out from Loki on the part of Calamity here. We just see a ton of damage. Just Calamity just having a hard time trying to keep up with all this damage output. Felicity takes out Wild Thing, Terrell takes out Shenny, Climate takes out Zyphon, and that is going to be the match.
Wow, that was a pretty awesome last point, honestly. I was really surprised how effective Calamity was holding it for quite a bit, but Outlast Gaming just coming out on top with some nice ultimate positioning, as well as I'm surprised on that first point they didn't commit as much ultimates, Calamity, but overall really nicely played from both teams, showing off a pretty impressive performance, coming out on top just barely. Outlast Gaming here. So nicely job to both teams, but thank you to Calamity for coming out to this Cozy Cash Cup. Let's take a look at this bracket again.
Yeah, shout out to Calamity. W in the chat for Calamity, everybody. They came out here, they played their hearts out, they played a really great game. Thank you for coming out to the Cozy Cash Cup, and we hope to see you in the next one. And also, congratulations to our victor in Outlast Gaming. You guys played an incredible match. After losing, well, not even really losing, it just kind of seemed like you guys were really fighting off of the back foot there for the first half of the round, and then you guys just really pulled it together, and just I think you guys can make a real serious run here. So yeah, congratulations to Outlast.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into this next match here in a few minutes, probably. Dreamland versus Outlast Gaming, who did win on losers round 3. So for losers finals, we will have Dreamland versus Outlast Gaming in a little bit once we see this bracket get updated. I'm not entirely sure when that will happen, but when it does, that is the game we will be watching, and whoever wins this match will be facing against Odyssey in grand finals and win at least a minimum of $200. So yeah, that should be pretty exciting. We'll have that coming up here in a little bit. So we'll take a quick short break here while I get that set up for you guys, and then we'll be back with some more Boat Bashers break here. You guys get to see me play a little bit more of the game, and then we'll get into the match here, this losers finals match. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, welcome back to the Cozy Cash Cup. We will be starting here in a little bit. And while we wait, actually, we can talk a little bit more about the next map here real fast before we get into more of Boat Bashers while we're waiting for the game to start. And I think this next map is going to be, let me pull it up here real fast for you guys. It should be a convergence map here on Symbiotic Surface, and it's going to be Clintar. So let's go take a look. We're going to be here on Symbiotic Surface, Clintar. So it should be pretty exciting here. Yeah, this is one of my favorite maps. I think this was the last map for the last Cozy Cash Cup. We saw a pretty exciting Spider-Man from the side of, it was Odyssey, I believe. So maybe we won't be seeing it again, I guess, unless we see that map again. Do you want to talk a little bit more about this map, Muff? Sorry.
Mush Muff here. No, yeah, totally.
Much love,
I
yeah.
love this. I love this map, man. It's a convergence map. So typically, you get the first map is more like a domination style. You got to capture the point to start basically the whole map, and then from there you're doing a push map from there. So you typically you tend to see teams, if they're going to struggle at all, they're going to struggle at that first point, trying to get through that choke point. There's a lot of verticality available there. There's a lot of flanking opportunities for the attacking team. So the defense team's going to have to keep their head on the swivel.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting. And while we're waiting for this next match to start, we can play a little bit more of Boat Basher, so we'll get back into it. Yeah, so I'll play a little bit more for you guys. It was actually paused from the last time where I stopped playing, so we can continue the run that we were having earlier as I was commentating. And already at 600 points, I think my current record is like 1,300 something, so not too bad pace, but it definitely gets more hectic as the game goes farther on. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty fun. I do like the aesthetic of the game. I hope they add more different maps maybe, and there are skins you can get. The little purple coins are the currency used to buy, and there is a premium currency. I'm not entirely sure how to purchase it at the moment as I am currently playing on the browser. But yeah, let's see how high of a score I can get. And
you better get the highest score possible, Manatee. Otherwise, you're not coming home.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if there is a highest possible score. I definitely mess up as the stakes get higher. And hopefully I find a few more of these time capsules, as my time is only about 80%. And oh, there's one. We saw another one. So I'm back to max time, so I can afford to make maybe 1 or 2 mistakes here as I'm starting to approach the 1,100 threshold where things start getting more difficult. And there's my 2 mistakes here already at half. Oh, another one as I'm talking. So hopefully I don't make any more mistakes. Oops, I saw a time thing go by, but I wasn't fast enough to grab it.
Look at him go, folks. He's dialed in. He's locked in. Oh. He's having a cozy cash cup tournament in his head of his own, folks. I mean, look at him. No mistakes. Dialed in. Left, right, left, right, no left, mistakes. Right, up, down, left, right, purple Q, square, up, down, purple. He's got this. No distractions, people. Got all of the power-ups. He's missing all of the little spikies and all of the swordfishes. Can he hit 1,400? Oh, and he eclipses 1,405.
Just barely.
Oh,
1,405. My highest score as of current. Let's see what the leaderboards looks like now. Oop, that's the local scores here, and it doesn't look like it has updated just yet, but definitely the highest score I've gotten currently. So you guys get to see a new small record here during the Cozy Cash Cup. I think we are actually getting into the game as of current. So yeah, we'll get straight into the game. Yeah, and we actually do see a few bans here. Maybe I played a little bit too much. I definitely wanted to see my score there. And so yeah, we see Dreamland doing a few bans here. You want to talk a little bit more about it, Muff?
Yeah, right away we see who is it? Outlast. We got Outlast with the Humid Torch ban, and they protect the Mantis, and they ban Psylocke as well as we see Dreamland banning Luna Snow, keeping Jean Grey, and banning Magneto. That's going to be really interesting. That's going to shake up the tank composition here just a little bit, especially on this map where holding that choke point is really interesting. So I'm fully expecting to see the attacking team potentially come out swinging with a Doctor Strange. Call me crazy. I mean, I'm a sucker for the classics.
I think Venom is definitely a pick here. I think this is one of Venom's best maps. And looking at the side of Atlas Gaming, they do want that triple strategist comp. We see 2 of the very important picks for triple strategist come out. Maybe we'll see a Black Widow. We saw it last time. I think it was Odyssey from the last game. And they pulled out that Black Widow with the damage boost. She can one-shot 250 health targets, Black Widow that is. So Mantis being able to provide those nice damage boosts should be pretty effective with that composition. Maybe we'll see that for Atlas Gaming run that as their 1 damage character. And on the side of Dreamland Gaming, again, more standard composition, but they do ban the Luna Snow, they do ban the Magneto, so they're definitely going to be running either Cap or Venom to fill that 1 slot. And knowing the more means that maybe, like, that's a bit anti-dive, which is kind of good for Atlas Gaming if they want to play something a bit more diving.
Yeah, you see Tyrell kind of floating around on that Jean Grey there. Interesting pick. He locks in Jean Grey.
Yeah, Phoenix is quite strong. I think if both teams want to run pretty strategist-heavy compositions, Jean Grey, these strategist compositions, as I was talking about a little bit earlier, are a lot more clumped up. So Phoenix doing a ton of AoE damage can build that ult super quickly, provide a lot of value for her team. And we'll have to see how that kind of pans out, as we see Outlast Gaming does want to run that triple strategist comp, but from the side of Dreamland, We do see a normal 2-2-2 comp. As I was talking about, Chuckles is going to be on that Captain America. Mace going to be going to do a funny portal here. Probably going to either see what the... Yeah, he's actually going to do the teleport off comp. Going to sell them for like 7 extra seconds here, probably at the beginning, or like 10 extra seconds. But they can just walk over to the side doors. But we will have Stinkers here, actually on the Wolverine. Going to have the jump pack from the Rocket. And then we're going to have Chime here on the Phoenix. And to match, actually, as I was talking, I think Outlast Gaming did swap to their own 2-2-2 comp, but they have an Iron Fist, so let's see how that kind of pans out for them. Oh, never mind, back to triple strategies. I got jebaited. But look at that portal, very funny. May's actually going to swap immediately off of Strange, so they're not going to have a fast second touch if they do lose this first point really quickly, like lose the first fight on the first point really quickly. And Outlast Gaming gonna go on this right side high ground. Let's see how they can leverage it. I do think Agent Nancy was actually behind them, kind of just poking at them. And we do see our Outlast Gaming also gonna actually take this point. Sorry, Agent Nancy was already there, but I think, yeah, I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna go. Chuckle's kind of caught out guard here on the side by himself.
Yeah, Chuckles is just kind of looking to disrupt the front lines in any way he can, but realistically, the front lines for Outlast was just constantly shifting, so he wasn't able to kind of get established there, which I think threw Dreamland for quite the loop there. But Mace managing to bounce back, gets a huge pick on Timu's.
Yeah, Dreamland following it up with 2 nice picks, and third one right there. Stinker's getting that Wolverine grab, immediately finding that pick there. I think it was on Felicity, so unfortunately gonna have to come back from spawn. Actually, I think it was Climate, no, I'm actually saying it out loud. But yeah, Dreamland actually just gonna find a pretty big fight there. Stinker's a little bit too deep. That actually might be pretty important here. The respawn's quite a bit longer for the side of the defense, so yeah, maybe a little bit late here. So we're gonna see Dreamland back up, gonna try to reconvene onto point. Mace taking a ton of damage trying to walk back up, gonna have to use quite a few cooldowns to stay alive. Chime does have his own ultimate already. Maybe he wants to commit it before the side of Outlast Gaming can get any ultimates of their own, but Agent Nancy probably gonna pop his Ultron ultimate immediately as he gets it, so that's gonna come out immediately. But Valentina probably gonna match it with her own Cloak and Dagger ultimate, so that's gonna immediately counter that. So on Nancy not gonna find too much mana. Tamu's gonna get picked off. Let's see if Chime can find anything with that Phoenix ultimate. Not anything. Tyrell also finding nothing of his own as they're kind of doing this funny 1v1 dance in the corner. But with the extra healer, Chime is gonna come out on top.
Yeah, and Tyrell there finding himself in kind of a not advantageous spot there coming out of his ultimate. Gonna potentially have to reassess there.
Yeah, I think Tyrell was using it to try to survive in the 1v1 against Chime, as Chime was also trying to use it to survive in his ultimate, and they just kind of stood there and looked at each other, but Chime had the backup of Jabori on that Loki to stay alive. And as Mace kind of drops his ultimate here, Stinker's also going to use Last Stand, get that pick really fast. Chime actually a ton of damage following up with this Phoenix, sealing all of those kills, although maybe you just call it kill securing there. But really nicely job from Dreamland, really just keeping Outlast Gaming kind of in their spawn here, doing a really effective job at holding this first point.
Yeah, Dreamland started it off with basically just trying to hold that traditional choke point, and just as this match has kind of progressed, or this round has progressed, they've just kind of constantly pushed that front line back further and further closer to the spawn. And Chuckles here kind of looking for something cheeky, maybe trying to...
Ooh, that's nothing.
Yeah. Chuckles, I'm curious as to what kind of play he's trying to cook up there.
Yeah, Mace kind of left out to dry there, so that is one tank down. And as Chuckles kind of runs forward with that Cloak and Dagger ult, should be able to put a lot of pressure. Matched, though, by the Soul Resurgence there from Tammuz. Here comes out this Phoenix ultimate, not a lot of damage because he threw it straight into a support ultimate. Chime gonna throw his own into another ultimate, not gonna get anything as well, but Chime immediately bursted coming out of that. Dreamland kind of losing players left and right. That's one strategist, one DPS down. Valentina gonna commit this Cloak and Dagger ultimate, but maybe a little bit late. There's not too much, but Tyrell actually gonna go down as Outlast Gaming runs out of resources. Verso gonna lose his ultimate form. Nancy does have a Cloak and Dagger ultimate, but 1v1ing the other Cloak and Dagger on the side. This is a bit of a wet noodle fight. We'll take a check back here in a second of what's happening. Oh, actually, we just saw it. Aunt Nancy did die there with support from Dreamland.
I like that. We'll check back in a second. I mean, it was a really good opportunity that we were going to be in that fight for about 1 to 2 minutes. But yeah, no, we see that immediately going to have Mace trying to get back into the fight, trying to get his portals going, trying to keep any hope alive, or trying to keep basically this fight ending here at this first point. Chuckles is actually staying alive. He's keeping things moving and grooving, as Gibbery as well is keeping things alive. He's keeping himself alive, keeping the rest of his team alive.
Yeah, it does look like Dreamland is barely not going to be able to hold on. I don't think there's anything left. I think Chuckles is the last one. 1v1ing a Cloak and Dagger. We'll take a check in again later, but on Nancy does go down. Oh, actually, this portal is kind of awkwardly placed, but yeah, Atlas Gaming does get the first point there.
Yeah, and that was a really close one there as well. Shout outs to Dreamland. They played a hell of a defense there, and Outlast also just basically playing the game of attrition and saying, hey, you know what? We can play the long game too.
Yeah, I think they knew they were going to lose that, so they stalled it for another like 30-45 seconds, which is actually going to give Outlast Gaming only 1 or 2 fights left on the second point. That's 2 minutes. Not too much. Stinker's going to pull that Captain America into the Emma Frost grab combo. That's a straight kill there for the side of Dreamland. That should be really effective at building them space here. Let's see if they can do anything with it. Chime actually going to go over the top. Let's see if there's any damage, but a bunch of ultimates from Outlast Gaming. Are they going to back up, or do they want to commit to to take this fight again? And as this respawn comes out from this cap, let's see how they approach this. Dreamland not having too many ults right now, but gonna come up in a second here. Here comes out this Captain America Freedom Charge. What can he get? I think we're just gonna see some defensive ultimates from the side of Dreamland, but nothing committed just yet.
Yeah, Climate is actually doing a really good job of getting in there and disrupting the Gibbery as a Loki as well. He manages to actually get Gibbery picked off there. I don't know if he actually scored the pick himself or not. But great job getting into space. And as well, we see a lot of ultimates going out right now. Mace holding on to his as well. Chuckles pops his Captain America ultimate.
Yeah, both teams kind of just trading backlines, and whoever survives at the end is going to survive. But Jabori barely survives long enough to get his own ultimate here. Gonna pop that with the Eternal Bond there. That Loki clone or copy ult gonna be quite effective. Gets slept, but nothing to follow up here. Outlook Gaming gonna have to run away for the hills here. That's a full route. And they're gonna do a full reset, but that's 30 seconds left on the clock. Tyrell still in the respawn room with 2 ultimates. Here goes. Nice pick there from Stinkers. No follow-up from the Diamond form though, so not too much value. Here goes Stinker with the last stand. Nothing. Gets countered by Tamuz. Gonna have to back up here. Mace gonna try to get back to his team, but getting body blocked, barely surviving due to that regeneration domain. Here comes out the Psionic Seduction. Let's see what we can get here. Gonna get bursted on Nancy. Gonna go straight to the back line. Gonna get pulled out. Probably instantly killed there by that Wolverine. Nicely done there by Stinkers. Good counter. Felicity gonna keep chasing here, but there's not too much support from the rest of his team, as there's only 2 strategists here. But oh, kicks away that Wolverine. Barely stays alive there. Outlast Gaming, this is their last touch here. Down 1 player, I think, on the respawn. Nice grab there again from Stinkers, really putting out an MVP performance.
Yeah, Outlast Gaming cannot afford to lose any players here, and as I say, that Climate goes down. That's going to be huge. We're going to see if Outlast Gaming is going to be able to actually outlast and stand tall as Dreamland just continues to get pick after pick. You see Tyrell goes down, Nancy goes down. We might actually be seeing the end of this round here, folks.
Yeah, a ton of damage. Here comes out Chime with the final ultimate just to make sure no one touches, but as that Stranger Portal comes out, that's going to drop onto it. Choco's probably going to drop the Freedom Charge, but no, not even needed. Outlast Gaming not being able to outlast the competition.
Yeah, that was a really close round, and I mean, from both teams, really great presence of mind. I mean, what I really enjoyed seeing there was the tenacity and Climate being able to just constantly get into the face of Dreamland's their healers and just constantly making it just a little bit of a problem for them, and also as well as Dreamland being able to dig their heels in the dirt and not be budged there in the final fight. That was just really great work from both teams.
Yeah, I think Dreamland barely came out on top, honestly, because of the Wolverine pick. I think he took Aunt Nancy out of that Eternal Bond, immediately deleted. That was super effective because that was their one strategist ultimate they had to take that fight, and because they lose their strategist immediately, they didn't have any tempo left, and they were barely holding on by a thread for like a few seconds on overtime, but that was mostly because of the Strange Portal to follow up, and I think Stinker's really putting up a performance here. The 2-2-2 composition from Dreamland being a little bit more effective than this triple strategist composition from Outlast. I'm curious to see if they'll change their strategy, but looking at it, it does seem like they're going to keep this strategy they've been doing. Maybe it's been quite effective, at least for that first point. They're doing pretty well, even though they got held up a little bit. But Dreamland, let's see how they want to approach this. Mace looks like he's going to go for a portal immediately, trying to dodge the portal of the enemy Strange if there is one. So let's see where he wants to place it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get. Ooh, immediately gonna get a little bit of creative here. Oh, and they're gonna.
They're gonna try to one-shot the
I
strategist.
love this.
Oh, immediately
I love
gets
this.
both strategists. It's 2 strategists down. There's only 1 left, and here comes Mace. Oh my god.
It's disastrous for Outlast.
An incredible portal there by Mace, like a bat out of hell. Just getting straight onto the strategist, and there's nothing left. Just chasing down. Aunt Nancy adds the last survivor, and it's Stinker kind of tries to get this Captain America with Chuckles here on his own Captain America. We just see him kind of running around. This might actually be a big stagger if he tries to stay alive, but it does look like he might stay alive. Oh, what an incredible grab.
Oh,
not really important to the state of the game, but definitely fun to watch. Let's go back to the main fight here as they kind of just set up and play traditionally. So let's keep watching Stinkers versus Climate, just kind of running this around. Actually, I think Climate's doing a good job keeping Stinkers out of the fight. He was actually putting a huge difference. That's another grab. Yeah, we'll get back to here in a second when that fight's more relevant. And here comes Chuckles in the back line of Dreamland. And yeah, it's gonna be really annoying here. Gonna actually build enough time for his team to keep pushing this point here.
Yeah, and Climate still just trying to keep Stinkers away from being any sort of a threat to his team. I actually kind of like this strategy. Stinkers still hasn't even pulled off or peeled off to go back and help his team. I don't think he's even noticed that he's being baited out.
Yeah, a nice grab there, though. I mean, that's down 1 strategist for Dreamland. It's actually kind of significant. Or sorry, Outlast Gaming, that's 1 tank down, and as we see here, actually, Outlast Gaming kind of coming out on top. That triple strategist is going to be quite effective, and I think both, yeah, Clement actually did come back to his team. Stinker's back here as well. Tries to pull them out of that Cloak and Dagger ult, but not enough. Mace going to use his own ultimate to counter Felicity, and with Tammuz using using the last strategist ult of Outlast Gaming, Dreamland already ran out of steam because they only have 2. Chuckle's gonna pop this a little late, maybe a bit of a misplay, but we'll have to see what the follow-up is. Outlast Gaming losing 2, actually Stinks finding his own as well. Maybe I spoke a little bit too soon there. Chuckle's popping it just at the right time. And that was a really nice play there from the side of Dreamland to keep up the tempo. I didn't even notice when Stinkers and Climate came back. Oh, wow, what an incredible angle.
Yeah, what a grab. Is it gonna be enough? Is it gonna be enough? I'm sure we are all watching right now with a bated breath. It's just
there's no
really
sustain
awesome
ultimates. There's no sustain ultimates from the side of Dreamland, so I think they're just gonna have to back up and give up this fight. Here just goes with Captain America, doing that auto cancel, try to get enough damage. Doesn't actually commit for the kill. I think he could have gone it, but maybe traded himself, so probably a good choice overall. Dreamland finding a lot of damage on this high ground. Look at all those stacks, but almost dying as well. Here comes out this Loki copy onto the Cloak and Dagger. They do want to commit this Eternal Bond early, probably. Let's see what they want to commit here, or how fast they want to commit here. Gonna have to commit it soon, though. We do see Dreamland just constantly backing up, trying to bait out this ult. At the last second, we do see Loki use this ultimate, and that's a bit of a waste since Dreamland's not going to commit to anything here.
Yeah, I mean, both teams right now just kind of sweating super hard, just slugging it out, trying to figure it out, and it looks like we didn't have a touch. Yeah, so it's going in Dreamland's directions. It's GG's to Dreamland.
Yeah, a good play there, I guess. I was surprised that they didn't even try to contest that Eternal Bond. I thought they were going to give it a try since they had their own strategist ultimates, but I mean, good play from both teams, though. Excellently done.
Yeah, truly great plays from both teams. I mean, the sustain on both teams was just really insane to watch. That little 1v1 that we had there right after the first point got taken between, who was it? It was the Stinkers and Climate.
And Chuckles, yeah. You know, Climate, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I really think that could have gone. I mean, potentially if Climate wanted to be a little cheeky about it, he could have kept Stinkers off point and away, and that could have played really well in his team's favor.
I mean, honestly, I think Climate figured out that his presence as a tank was a bit more important than Stinkers as a DPS, because Chime was already putting out a lot of damage, and because they had to focus all of their damage on just, I think it was Felicity on the Emma Frost there, they're really struggling on the front line. They were just slowly losing space, and I think that was primarily one of the reasons why they just kept fighting there in the back line. But let's go back to the bracket here real fast to check in for this final game here. It's going to be the grand finals between, let me check here real fast. It's going to be Odyssey versus Dreamland. And we saw both of these teams already. This is a run back of winner side finals, so this grand final should be pretty exciting here. What do you think, Muff?
Yeah, I think both teams really are, especially Dreamland in particular, were just like, hey, look, you know, they kind of left a sour taste in my mouth after losing the semifinals in the winners bracket. You know, let's run this thing back and let's get back into the finals and let's make our mark in the Cozy Cash Cup history books.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting, and we'll have the next map here coming up in a little bit. I will let you guys know whenever it gets posted. But actually it might be posted already. I should take a quick check to see if actually it did get posted here, so I will show you guys it and you can talk a little bit more about it, Muff, while we wait for the next game. So here you go, take a look.
Burnin' Chala, chat, you know it, you love it. This is a great domination point. This is going to be a slugfest from both teams. You can make traditional use of the environment. You can create a lot of really cheeky angles. Both teams are going to really find their success in how well they can coordinate their picks, make 2v1 opportunities, and capitalize on basically mispositioning from the enemy team. Everybody's going to be super keen and focused and looking for that big pick. So heads on a swivel, sit on the edge of your chair. We have a really barn burner for the finals coming at you.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting. Domination maps tend to be the most tense and exciting games for Marvel Rivals. And also should be pretty exciting for that new game mode as well. We could talk about it a little bit here. I actually have some footage for you guys if you guys want to take a quick look before we get back into playing a bit more either Marvel Rivals or what's it called, Boat Bashers. So let me give you guys a quick look on the new map, Clintar Throne of Null on Resource Rumble. Like the game mode is Resource Rumble. So take a look.
Yeah, I love when developers try to put a new spin on competitive game modes, and the fact that they have this kind of just working its way through the casual space first to kind of work out kinks and see what works best in a competitive setting, you know, balance and all of that. I think this could be really fun to watch, especially whenever you have, you know, professional minds who are kind of like take a step back and look at the gameplay and analyze things a little bit differently than the traditional gamer would.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting, and let's play a little bit more of Boat Bashers while we wait here. And let me turn down the volume a little bit so I can hear a bit better when the game starts, so I don't go halfway through the ban phase. Yeah, so as I was talking about a little bit earlier, the game is quite fun and enjoyable. I hope they add more maps, and honestly more game modes would be pretty great too, but I think the aesthetic of the game is quite excellent. And yeah, we should get into the ban phase here in a second, but while we wait, yeah, I can play a little bit more for you guys. If you guys want to take a bit more look at the gameplay, I can also slow it down a little bit more so it's a bit easier to watch, at least in the early phases. I might have to go a little bit faster as we get towards the later phases, and as you can see, it is actually a little bit difficult to pick up at the beginning because I always get confused by like where I'm supposed to hit, because you just have to make sure that you don't hit the fish above your head. And it sounds simple, but in reality is quite a bit difficult. As you can see there, even going slowly, I mess up sometimes if I'm actually like paying attention. And if you guys think you can do better than me, definitely play this yourselves on iOS or Android. It's also on browser, which is currently what I'm playing right now, so give it a try. And it is free from the Cozyverse team. And if you guys do well on the leaderboards, be sure to leave a comment currently in the stream. And yeah, we're going to be getting into this game right now, so I will move over to the game. Yeah, we have Dreamland versus Odyssey here. Ban phase. Let's see what they want to ban. There's that Phoenix ban from the side of Odyssey. Maybe they were having a little bit of struggles in that previous game that they fought in semifinals. Although I think that's what they banned as well in the winner's side semifinals or finals. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't really recall, but one thing I can recall is that this is probably the most I've seen Emma Frost in the Cozy Cash Cup verse in quite a while.
Yeah, usually Emma Frost ends up getting banned, so I think generally since the tanks are a little bit more evenly spread now, with Doctor Strange being a bit more popular, and like Captain America and Venom becoming a little bit on a more even level, I think Emma Frost kind of is not as much of a priority ban, especially since a lot of the strategists are quite good, and there's a lot of really ban-worthy duelists, DPS, like Jean Grey, as we see here. So I think definitely it is a little harder to ban the Emma Frost for free, so we get to see quite a bit more of it, and as we saw, quite effective, especially with that Wolverine. Pull that person from the Wolverine into the arms of Emma Frost as she grabs and flips him over her head, and that's a free kill like 80 to 90% of the time. And yeah, looking at the protects and bans, Dreamland gonna ban that Venom. Probably struggled a bit more with it in that winner's final match that we saw, so they definitely want to lower, or they want to temper their strategies so that it's a bit more standard, I think, or at least what they're more comfortable with.
Yeah, they want to kind of cater to their strengths rather than, you know, kind of play to the unknowns. Because, I mean, you know, the more you can kind of control in the field, the more you can kind of feel comfortable and kind of, you know, think a little bit more clearly. And you see a Black Panther ban. That's interesting. I think that might be targeted.
Might be, but honestly, Black Panther is just very good in general, and with that Captain America protection, maybe they're a little bit afraid of a more, yeah, a bit more afraid of a divier style of comp. And with Black Panther, since people have discovered that he is quite effective even in organized high-level play, maybe a pretty effective ban. And keeping that Emma Frost, again, maybe they're a little bit afraid of this more dive style comp. That's why they keep protecting a lot of these like dive character, or like I guess technically Psylocke is a dive character herself. Well, a bit more like a mid-range divey. So yeah, let's see how Odyssey wants to respond. Maybe they're just trying to goat them into making some poor decisions. Yeah, the Human Torch, kind of a dive character, but definitely more of a pick character. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what they want to ban for the final ban here. I'm expecting another strategist ban. Honestly, Loki wouldn't be a surprising ban to me here. I think their composition would do great against a lot of the strategists except for Loki. But we can also see a Cloak and Dagger ban. Oh, actually, in the Moore ban. Okay, so they are going for this more divey style comp, or at least more spread out fight style of composition. Yeah. So let's see how Dreamland wants to respond. Are they gonna ban like Mantis, or like if they think they're gonna do triple strategist to back up this dive comp? No, it's a Spider-Man ban. Okay. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Odyssey, known for that Spider-Man. So honestly, Dreamland kind of having a bit of a ban advantage, maybe. I mean, they only really played Spider-Man in one match, Odyssey, the first round. But I'm trying to think for Berlin T'Challa.
Oh, they probably did their homework.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, they also played them in Winter's Side, so. I mean, there's not too many spots you can pull people off on this map as Spider-Man, or like on the 3 maps that are available. I'm trying to think if there is one, if you can think of one, Muff. Like off the top of your head.
I think so. I don't know the name of it, but it's the one with the 2 pillars and like in the water everywhere with the waterfalls.
Oh yeah, you're right. Wait, I can actually show that here real fast. While we're waiting for the game to start, let me move back over to Berlin T'Challa. Here you guys can take a quick look. I think it is this map. Yeah, the one you're talking about. This all the waterfalls. It should be pretty easy for Spider-Man to get value, so maybe they're a little bit afraid of that. So let's get back to the game here. And yeah, as we see both of these compositions, I think Stinkers is just used. Oh no, he might actually play Penny here. I'm a little surprised. Kind of odd to me, but Jitward once again on the Psylocke, finding a lot of value. I'm surprised they protected it at Dreamland, especially since they're not playing it. I'm a little surprised that they actually wanted to pick it, or to protect it.
We'll see, yes, maybe they're planning on like a late match, kind of pull that out.
Oh, nice pull there. Not enough to finish, but Tomo gonna take a lot of damage on the initial play there. Gonna take this high ground Dreamland. Let's see what they can do with it. May's gonna just hold this front area. Almost gonna pick off there. Someone from the backline of Odyssey. I didn't catch that entirely. But yeah, they're gonna touch this point here. May's actually taking a lot of damage for free. Not too much resources left for him. Chuckle's gonna just kind of be annoying, but not really doing anything on the backline. Gonna have to run away here. Dreamland actually not opening up as much space as I thought they would.
Yeah, Odyssey doing a really good job of just kind of controlling the map, controlling the field, being really calm and just kind of like selecting the targets. Getting a lot of value out of the damage that they're putting out as they are charging up their ultimates rather quickly. And you see Valentina Eve as well, kind of caught off in her own little 1v1, and that's actually not a bad thing whenever you have a healer healing off another healer in a 1v1.
Yeah, Stinker's gonna use this ultimate here, it's also but immediately countered by Renko, but already lost 2 for the side of Odyssey. There's actually not too much left. Oh, actually, here comes out Soko with this Emerald's ultimate. Let's see if he can get anything. Nope, countered there. Again, from the side of Dreamland. Actually gonna copy the Soul Resurgence, so nicely done, but Valentina going down a little early, but they're gonna hold on to this point.
Yeah, Dreamland making a decisive stand here in their first rematch against Odyssey here. See how Odyssey responds. Remember,
that triple
Odyssey
strategist comp working pretty well.
We know Odyssey as being very exactly. The triple strategist comp is working very well, but we'll see how Odyssey responds because they are known for some really crazy compositions, untraditional compositions.
Yeah, they were running that triple DPS composition the last time we saw them in the finals, and only running a regular 2-2 comp right now. Here comes up Chime with the Supernova. Let's see if we can get. Actually, just gonna blast the point there. Wow, gets Dribbled around the corner. It knows sniffs exactly where he was. Nice eye of Agamotto there from Mace as well. I think that was on 2 or 3. Nice dive there. Is that enough to finish? Nope. Invisible One gets away, but that is gonna be a kill on Soko. Yeah, that's a pretty long reset because that was right after the last respawn, so a very, very long stagger. Trying to sniff them out, Chime here.
Yeah, Chime is just absolutely dialed in here as Human Torch. You know, not even really feeling that Human Torch nerf.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna try to get back up to this point, Odyssey, but going through one choke point here might not be that effective. But again, Dribbled on the side here, really, really far out of the fight. Odyssey gonna come out here with a bunch of defensive ultimates. Here comes the Freedom Charge to get them onto the point. Dreamland committed nothing yet though. Chuckle still has his Freedom Charge in the pocket. Valentina gonna have to pop that Soul Resurgence early to keep them alive. Renko following up with that invisible boundary. Oh, actually, they're gonna have to run out with the Soul Resurgence because it doesn't last as long as the invisible boundary. Ooh, Dreamland losing 1, but Freedom Charge from Chuckle is gonna try to keep them on point, but loses the point. That's not great for Dreamland. Are they gonna keep committing to a losing fight, or are they gonna back up and try to regroup? Jabori actually going to commit more, so it looks like Dreamland is going to full commit here. Odyssey actually running out of steam. I'm a little surprised, but not too much, because they are facing a triple strategist comp, and Dreamland really taking advantage of that comp strengths.
Yeah, I think we're going to see both teams here get a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more reckless in their playmaking and their decision-making here, as both teams know what's on the line. This is it. You know, the winner walks away with 300 big ones, and, you know, second place, nothing to shake a stick at, $200, but it's not quite as glorious as all of the bragging rights of taking first place in the Cozy Cat stuff.
Yeah, Mace trying to block that with his portal, but doesn't actually get anything. That Eye of Agamotto only getting 1, but that is enough to get the kill onto Jitward there. Stinker's still alive here. Chime gonna actually try to follow up onto the rest of Mace's play, and that's enough damage. I think there's no strategist really left for the side of Odyssey. I think it's just Renko. No, Renko's on the respawn here. Valentina gonna pop that Soul Resurgence. Maybe a little bit too much of an overcommitment, especially since they're gonna have to play at least one more round here, but overall, really nicely done from Dreamland. It's gonna get that hold there on the first point.
Yeah, Dreamland coming back swinging hard from the losers bracket, saying, hey, Odyssey, I know you guys won last time, but, you know, make some room because I'm coming.
Yeah, and honestly, Odyssey, I think they swapped their comp towards the end there to a triple strategist composition, but a little bit too late, and maybe Odyssey is a bit on the back foot here. No Spider-Man to bail them out here. Yeah, Jibber can't go to like a fancy pick to try to find some value. And Dreamland really showing a very strong, honest game plan. This triple strategist composition, maybe not the flashiest, maybe not the most MVP playmaking composition, but in terms of ultimate economy and overall strategy, they're really showing up Odyssey here.
Yeah, making Odyssey sweat, making Odyssey struggle is going to be the key in the game plan. I think that's going to get them the dub here if they're going to execute at this high of a level. Otherwise, I'm fully expecting Odyssey to completely adapt and overcome. Odyssey is just a really great team. Dreamland showing why they need to be in the same bracket as Odyssey, and we're finding out rather quickly.
Yeah, Odyssey actually honestly didn't do too bad last round, even though I kind of gassed up Dreamland there a little bit, but definitely Dreamland's showing quite a bit of awareness. Chime honestly really on point on that last round, so let's see if Self here on the Human Torch is going to be able to match it. Gonna be ult charge, they're gonna have a little bit of a ultimate advantage here. I think Odyssey, because of that Soul Resurgence being down, but Chuckles, maybe he's gonna make the difference here, gonna commit some ultimates. But here goes Supernova and that Ultron ultimate. Gonna try to find some value. Chuckles gonna pop his ultimate, but his entire team is basically already dead. Just gonna be him on the point by himself. Maybe there's gonna be Chime, but Chime goes down. Stinker's gonna try to follow up, but there's really nothing left. Wow, nicely done from Odyssey. Maybe Dreamland a little bit overextending there with that Chuckles ultimate.
Yeah, Odyssey just walking in really and just had his ultimate almost ready to go off rip. It was just like, yeah, hey, I'm gonna lay it all on the line. I'm gonna lay it all out there on the table, and I don't think that you're gonna have the resources to respond to it. They did. So we'll see how they respond to this adversity. Right now, you see Self kind of positioned up, trying to keep Dreamland kind of fighting off the back foot. As Dreamland tries to create some space here with Chocolate trying to lead the way.
Oh, nice block there from Mace, blocking that with the Emma Frost shield. So there's nothing there, but here goes Renko immediately following up the Soul Resurgence with Odyssey's own, and Stinker's gonna come out a lot as well. That's a lot of defensive ultimates coming out. That's actually 2 defensive ultimates from the side of Dreamland. Maybe a bit of an overcommitment. Same thing with Odyssey though, 2 defensive ultimates. And as this fight kind of runs out, Odyssey is at a slight advantage. Dreamland, can they hold on to the momentum? Mace, oh, good timing for that ultimate to come out. That Psionic Seduction gonna build them a lot of space here, but they do lose 1 Chime on the back. That's almost all of their damage. Maybe they can get Self here. That's gonna be enough. There's not anything left for the side of Odyssey. It's just gonna be a really slow death animation here.
You see Mace just kind of walking through, cleaning up the rest of Odyssey, sending them back to the spawn points so that they can respawn and reassess. They're going to come back strong here, though, as I believe both teams are kind of neck and neck on the ultimate economy management here. So it's going to be really interesting to see who's out here kind of farming, who's out here kind of selling. This is getting heated up, folks.
Yeah, Odyssey might have a small tempo advantage if they want to use this ult on Jitward really quickly. This Ultron ultimate is really effective when it's just by itself, but Chime also has Supernova. So Supernova does match that Ultron ultimate, making the rest of the team of Odyssey back up. Jitward not going to get too much here, and Self might have to respond with his own ultimate, but Chuckles already has Freedom Charge in the pocket, probably going to use it immediately when Self pops his own. But this fight is kind of devolving into a really big mess, as both tanks are trying to get to the backline. There goes Chuckles, has to pop it to keep himself alive, but Self does respond with his own ultimate. That's 3! That's probably going to be 4 if he can get a little bit more damage out. But that Regeneration Domain really keeping that Loki alive. That Freedom Charge running out now. There's not too much left. Vanity actually very late commit there. But that ultimate just coming up is probably why that happened, but that actually might be enough to win the fight here. Odyssey, it still has almost a lot of players, but not a lot of gas in the tank. Chuckle's gonna stay alive here, barely gonna have to drop to the low ground to stay alive. Here goes Jabari, gonna drop his own Soul Resurgence to follow up. Odyssey has nothing left, there's nothing in the tank, and they're gonna have to back up and run for the hills or get sent straight to the spawn room.
Yeah, Dreamland's got their foot to the floor. It's 100 miles an hour or nothing right now. And you know, you saw earlier, you saw Self actually got 1, not 2, but 3 huge picks, and Dreamland was still able to hang in there, survive, and take the point. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible presence of mind. Dreamland is making a name for themselves as they try to etch their names into the history books of the Cozy universe.
Yeah, Dreamland's holding super far up. There's actually not a lot of time left on the clock. I think, oh, Stumble, I thought was going to touch on the side here. Is there anyone ready? Self actually going to TP to the point. So they will get at least one more fight here. Dreamland has nothing left. That's 5 ultimates from the side of Odyssey. Jitward going to pop his, but immediately get taken down. Renko going to use his defensive ult. Same thing with Stumble. That's 2 defensive ults out immediately. I'm not sure that's a great idea. Mace going to find 2. That's 2 strategists. That's going to be enough to get both of these ultimates. No more strategist ultimates from the side of Odyssey. Soka going to use Meteor M. Gonna find 1, but that's not gonna be enough. I don't think. It's still the 3 players for both teams on the point, but Dreamland doesn't have too much gas left. Valentina finding that 1v1 victory here, and that's gonna be enough, I think, for Odyssey to actually take this. But as I say, that Stumble is gonna keep touching, but just buys enough time for Jitward to touch once again for the Psylocke. But no, I think that's the end. Valentina, this Soul Resurgence is gonna be just enough.
That was incredible, chat. I don't know if you guys are sitting on the edge of your seat there, but that was really, really decisive on Dream's part. That was just really incredible to watch. Both teams really slugging it out, but I mean, as you look at that leaderboard, or as you look at that scoreboard, I mean, it just tells the whole story.
Yeah, I think both teams did incredibly well. Dreamland really showing up. Odyssey there, maybe the bans were more effective than it was in Winner's side. Honestly doing a really good job, but just barely kind of falling short in a lot of these fights. Maybe committing a few too many ultimates, and sometimes committing a little bit too far onto chases. And overall, I think Dreamland did play overall a bit better. I mean, especially on that first point, they played that triple strategist composition and really took the win out of the sails of Odyssey.
Yeah, and I mean, as you look there as well, you see both Valentina Eve and Gibbery just absolutely opening up the door for Stinkers to go in and drop a lot of like really clutch damage when it was necessary. I think that was a really key part as well. You know, with the triple support composition, and only having one DPS in all of that. You know, you really got to coordinate with your DPS to kind of create those windows and capitalize on those windows of success when they open up.
Yeah, but it's not over just yet, because if you did remember, Dreamland did come from the loser side bracket, so they do have to play one more game. I almost forgot, because this actually doesn't happen super often, yeah. And this next map here, I think Mash will show it in a few seconds here. He'll probably send it out, but I do know what the next map will be, and we'll take a quick look.
Odyssey with an opportunity to respond. Ooh, and this is a really great map as well. This is a great map in my opinion. I think it's a little bit more defensive heavy with the way that the choke points kind of like are a little bit more attuned for the defenders to kind of embed themselves and make it a little bit more difficult. However, this is a really huge opportunity for whoever is attacking to redeem themselves. You know, be it Dreamland redeem themselves to be able to win it all, or Odyssey to kind of keep this thing going. And I fully expect Odyssey to respond. You know, they are no slouches. They did win with that incredible wacky DPS composition from, what was it, 2 weeks ago in the Cozy Cash Cup 9. So, you know, don't count them out too early.
Yeah, I definitely think they came out on the back foot for that round. They did kind of lose the wind in their sails at the beginning, and maybe that was the reason why we saw Dreamland kind of take that momentum and run them over. But again, I don't think they did too poorly, so let's see if they can redeem themselves here on Tokyo 99 Spider Islands. Whenever they are ready, they will probably start. But while we are waiting, we can play a little bit more of Boat Bashers. Again, you guys can play it on iOS browser or on Android. And it is free for you guys to try. There is, I believe, going to eventually be microtransactions for cosmetics. There are a few cosmetics in the game right now that you guys can try to earn just by playing. So definitely free to play, so definitely give it a try. As you can see, the game can be incredibly fast-paced, especially as you get towards those higher levels. And with this great, amazing, cozy art style, you guys are definitely missing out on a lot if you guys don't give it a try. And right now, this is probably the best time for you guys to give it a try, as we are on a break for the next match. So download it right now and give it a try.
Yeah, I love the aesthetics of this as well. I love the little cozy penguin. Little Tyler. Little Tyler could pinch his little cheekies as he beats the hell out of some boats. Love it.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm really excited to see what they'll do more with updates for this game. Honestly, I would love to see different like maps or different like mechanics being added. It's already really fun and honestly kind of challenging just by itself, but I definitely could see a lot of potential for this game. And as I was talking, I'm already at 700. I wasn't even paying attention, kind of popping off a little bit here as well on my own. But yeah, I mean, it should be exciting to see what is going to happen in the next match. Actually, I can take a quick check here. What's going to happen if they are ready? I don't think they're ready just yet. Yeah, I think they are a little bit stalled out here, so we can keep playing a little bit. Ooh, I barely got that recovery as I was trying to check onto the status of the match. So let's see if I can beat my high score here. Definitely doing a good job keeping this timer basically at the same level as I'm not making any big mistakes. And if we want to talk a little bit more about the actual match that's going to be happening here, I don't actually think we've had many games go to oh, that's 1,000, not bad, honestly. Oh, actually, wait, did I see someone beat my score there? Oh, Grand actually putting up a nice score of 1,687. Nicely done. Definitely leave a comment in the chat on Twitch to tell Grand he did a great job here. And yeah, I'll definitely play a little bit more as we are waiting for this next match. But yeah, I mean, the Spider Islands has some great high grounds, especially on the first point. There's a really strong high ground, but most teams decide not to hold on it. It is a little bit difficult to hold, but oh, actually, I can hear the next match starting right now. So let me get into the game here. I'll let you guys take a quick look.
I love Boat Bashers. It's so fun.
Yeah, and I put on the bottom, it is Grand Finals Round 2. So this is the last match no matter what. And yeah, we're gonna have to see if coming from losers bracket, Dreamland can win a second game, or if Odyssey will get back onto their feet, find a second win, and pull it out.
Yeah, I think it's anybody's match here, folks. I mean, like, both teams are dialed in. Both teams are playing out of their freaking minds. I think Dreamland kind of has a little bit of the advantage going in at the moment. They have all of the momentum, so it'll be really, really awesome to see if Odyssey is able to respond. Maybe they get a little crazy. Maybe they get a little dicey with their compositions here. Maybe they kind of just reach into their bag of tricks and they say, hey, you know what? I've got something that you guys aren't ready for.
Yeah, Odyssey kind of sticking with their guns here. Banning the Jean Grey, the Phoenix once again. Dreamland's gonna keep banning, I mean, honestly, pretty similar bans overall. Let's see how... Again, I'm surprised about this Psylocke protection. Maybe they're keeping it in their back pocket if they do need it to counter something specific. I guess, like, the ultimate, the Dance of the Butterfly, is really effective, and as we saw, was pretty good against the triple strategist compositions as well. But let's see how Odyssey responds. Do they want to keep the Spider-Man? Are they going to protect it? Who knows? Nope, Captain America once again. They're sticking with their guns. Odyssey really showing a pretty confident face here. Really not too worried about the Spider-Man just yet. Maybe saying that they can win without just gimmicks and with solid, honest, grounded play. Oh, there goes Ultron.
That Ultron ban. That's huge. That's going to kind of change a little bit of the dynamics here. As remember, we had Stinkers and I believe it was Chimes actually coordinating really well together in the last match to kind of to capitalize on their damage opportunities. Black Panther gets banned as well. Remember, you were talking earlier, right before the last match started, about how Black Panther has been started to really shine in organized professional play. So perhaps they, you know, Dreamland knows something we don't.
Yeah, I mean, Loki protection. I'm a little surprised about this one. I think, honestly, I think Loki is good. I mean, we saw both teams use it, so I'm kind of surprised it warranted a protection in the first place. But again, maybe they're still thinking of Spider-Man without having to ban it and as like ban it specifically. But like looking at this, without the Ultron, I'm not sure how well these triple strategist compositions or how much more effective they can be. Oh yeah, Spider-Man protects from Odyssey. And when I was talking about grounded play, I definitely didn't think they're gonna ground the Ultron. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited to see how these teams are gonna kind of build around this, because definitely some different bans compared to the last game. We do see them kind of adjusting to each other. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that Spider-Man protect. Let's go. Namor ban. We've seen it in every single match so far this evening. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they really don't want to deal with Namor if they're gonna have to play the Spider-Man. And again, a bit more of a divey style composition. Maybe, okay, I'm curious to see if Dreamland will ban something like a Magneto, or like things that support that more dive style. Okay, Human Torch, I'm a little bit surprised, but then again, like, Human Torch is kind of a strong pick overall. Maybe it's just a generic pick, or maybe they know a bit more, because I haven't been as updated on the more recent meta, but Human Torch just in general is very strong, so I'm not surprised to see it.
Ooh,
still the triple strategist comp.
I love it. Okay.
This kind of smells like goats to me here. We see this triple strategist, triple Vanguard composition. That screams to me, go all tanks and supports here. And yeah, it does look like that's what they're gonna be doing here. Odyssey, on the other hand, gonna do a, this is one of their specials here. It looks like it's gonna be 3 DPS, 1 strategist, 1 tank. Or, well, no, sorry, 2 strategists, 1 tank, 3 DPS. My bad, I miscounted there a little bit. So let's see how this works out for the side of Odyssey. They're gonna probably run the Spider-Man. I would be more surprised to see them not run it, especially since they decided to protect it. I'm a little surprised to see the Squirrel Girl, but maybe they really just want that extra lockdown to help Jitward get those impactful picks. And I mean, Storm is just good, a really good flyer, very strong contesting the high grounds on this map. On the other hand, I'm not sure how Dreamland is going to contest these high grounds, if they even want to in the first place. Their comp is quite defensive. Obviously, 3 healers, 3 tanks. Mace gets pulled immediately, but does end up getting barely bailed out there. Odyssey actually going to be running Groot as their solo tank. That's going to be even more damage on top of this triple DPS, and look at how fast people die. Chuckles getting caught out and immediately getting pulled apart. But Odyssey kind of left out Stumble to dry just one or two strategists, but none of them great at single target healing. And as we watch this fight kind of go, it's like 2 picks just kind of spread out between both teams. Dreamland's going to be able to hold on because their comp is just better on defense.
Yeah, I think as time kind of goes on, you're going to see Odyssey is going to have to really get very smart about how they get their picks here, because they don't really have a whole lot of sustain to really pull off just holding the W key here. So they're going to need to get picks, smartly regroup, reassess, and kind of just keep moving forward as best they can, because this is going to be a war of attrition. When you have 3 tanks, 3 healers on the board, yeah, that's okay. You see Jabori also popped their Luna Snow ultimate as well. That's huge. That's going to completely stall everything out.
Yeah, Jibbor's trying to find something on his own as Renko follows up with his own defensive ultimate. Mace gonna use it right at the end of his Luna Snow ultimate. That's quite dangerous for the side of Odyssey. They don't have as many ultimates they can use a CC or defend themselves. Here comes out the Screw ult. Followed up with this, oh, actually, gonna get countered immediately. Seeker's gonna look for this onto one. Yep, that's gonna be one straight onto the Storm. Nicely followed up there by the side of Dreamland. Very, very, very solid defensive play.
Yeah, Dreamland's just making this absolutely hell for Odyssey to kind of get out of their spawn here and kind of get established. You know, you saw early on they got that huge pick. I believe that was on Mace early on potentially, and that was really kind of the last signifying kind of like move that they were able to make against this Blitz composition.
Yeah, Joe, trying to find something, but immediately gets picked off there from the side of Dreamland. Nicely done. Picking up the Squirrel Stampede. Not going to find too much in this really open area. Maybe a bit of an overcommitment. Odyssey, no ultimates on the board. Maybe just wanted to swap to Emma Frost, but would have kept 50% of the ult charge if they kept it. Jibward actually going to swap to Squirrel Girl himself. No more Spider-Man, not finding any value because of this turtle-like stance that Dreamland has put themselves into.
Yeah, Chuckle's just constantly in and out, in and out, in and out. Doing his job is the thing. Just disrupting that front line, kind of getting a little mixy with the back line, and then just coming right back to his healer. Just rinse and repeat, making his presence known. And you see Stinkers throws out his Magneto ultimate, gets nothing out of it. And Jabori also popping his ultimate. He's going to mimic the Luna Snow here, pop their ultimate, and they're going to go ahead and probably pop Valentina's ultimate here as well. Yep, she popped hers. That's out. Mace has popped hers as well. We just have a lot of ultimates going out right now, folks. A lot of damage, a lot of sustain.
Yeah, here comes the Chuckle, so that might make the difference. Big stun into the backline. 2 strategists stunned. That's basically all the sustain there from Odyssey. Basically nothing left. Chuckle's really nice. Great play there. Finding them in that closed room, and you do not want to be in a closed room with the thing in a boxing match, definitely.
No, and as we move forward towards the end of this round, we've got 40 seconds left. Odyssey is going to have to make something happen here if they're going to want to try and make this at least a little difficult for Dreamland as they move forward into their match as well. So we see Squirrel Girl trying to get a really good pick here. I don't know if she's going to be able to get it. Magneto, she misses her route here. She's got Dreamland fighting off of the backfoot here, though. This is actually really big. This could be very, very much what Odyssey needs to kind of capitalize and gain some footing.
Yeah, I think Odyssey, though, burning the ultimates and Dreamland backing up really, really successfully. Not looking like a great thing here for the side of Odyssey. And yeah, as they start running out of steam, there's nothing left. Odyssey really not finding any value here. Dreamland doing a great job backing up when they needed to back up. But that Squirrel ult not finding too much value inside of that really big hallway. That is going towards that first point. Here comes the teleport here from Dreamland to reinforce quickly, even though I'm not entirely sure they really needed it. Self here gonna look for this ultimate. No regeneration domain. Almost caught out there. Jabori out in the open does end up getting 1 chime going down, but still 2 defensive ultimates from the side of Dreamland is enough to keep them alive.
Yeah, Dreamland holds Odyssey to just 68 meters, not even getting that first point touch on this map, and that is going to be really, really difficult. That's going to put Odyssey basically in a do or die position where they can't give up any ground at all. So we're going to see if they make any kind of changes, any changes to their composition here, because they're going to need to do something differently.
I think Dreamland is on offense. On the top, it does say that Dreamland's on defense, but I'm pretty sure they're on offense for this half. Or wait, no, they're on attack. Dreamland, yeah. So I think it's interesting to see how they're gonna build this composition. Mace on. Okay, no, I understand. This is for the team up with the Rocket so that they can get that jetpack a little bit faster for the Wolverine that I thought they were going to be running. But I think Stinkers decided he didn't really want to play it, or... Okay, gonna be on the Squirrel Girl, so a little bit different than what I was expecting, but Odyssey also gonna be doing this GOATS composition, this triple strategist, triple tank composition to try to slow them down as much as possible. Obviously, some development in the meta, as I've not seen this as much previously. And I guess the Squirrel Girl is a response to this meta shift with this very high sustain. Okay, Mace is gonna be on this Wolverine. We've seen Mace on the Wolverine quite successfully before. So, very, very good into tanks. Let's see what he can get on his open with this Rocket jetpack. Kind of crawling up here. Oh, they spot him, but Mace already in the way. Immediately gets Groot. That's going to be almost a fight-winning pick there. Almost nothing. Actually going to swap immediately off, I think, of the Wolverine. Yeah, goes to tank. Oddity kind of already on the back foot here. Down one tank. With only 3 strategists, I think Joe is going to have to swap to Strange if he wants to actually get in time to touch. But no, actually going to try to walk back. Maybe a little bit too greedy. The Groot definitely stronger if he gets there, but I don't even know if he's going to get there. We do see Dreamland already pushing Odyssey back to the far back point that they can go here. And that's already a pick. Nice wall there from the side of Dreamland. Going to be able to kill the Thing, but Thing does get res. Another pick on Soko and Self as they attempt to run up on the point. Seeker's finding a ton of value with this Squirrel Girl ultimate. And that's it.
And she nails the root. Yep, and that's the ball game. Dreamland takes the 10th Cozy Cash Cup verse.
Honestly, an incredible display of flexibility at the end there. Mace kind of swapping around, starting with the Wolverine. I do think maybe a little bit too far forward Jitward was, and not swapping over to the Strange was maybe a bit of a decision. I don't even know if he got back in time for that final fight there. But Dreamland really showing a strong face as they run at Odyssey, closing out that match convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they even kind of met any bit of a speed bump whenever they swapped over to attack. That was really incredible to watch.
Yeah, and stats really show the story here. We do see not a lot, maybe a lot of damage coming out from the side of Odyssey, but definitely not a ton of kills. And Dreamland really finding a lot of these kills very effectively and not losing anyone, actually barely losing any of their backline on their own. So yeah, really showing an impressive performance, a very impressive performance. And the bracket will get updated here in a second, but that should be the game. Dreamland does take home the $300 cash prize for the Cozy Cash Cup number 10. And Dreamland will take home $200 themselves, which is pretty great overall. So yeah, sorry, Odyssey will be taking $200 home themselves overall. So a really impressive performance from the both of them, and they gave us some really exciting games. Dreamland's coming back from the loser side, a great story.
Yeah, that was just really fun to watch. You know, from the beginning, Odyssey versus Dreamland, and then Dreamland ends up finding fighting a large amount of adversity, and having to find themselves fighting out of the losers bracket. And then we just go on to watch Outlast Gaming take on Calamity, and then they end up routing Calamity, moving on to the finals in the losers bracket, where Outlast got routed by Dreamland, and Dreamland was like, hey, look, this is our opportunity to shine. This is our chance to really tell everybody who we are and what our name is and what we're about. And, you know, what better way to do it than to come back and fight your way out of the losers bracket, and then to beat the people who just won prior. You know, like that's really big. You can't write this.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting. They're talking a little bit in the chat. I wonder if we will get an interview. Well, I'll have to ask them here in a second. I'll actually ask them right now. Yeah, and honestly, great job to everyone who came out here for the Cozy Cash Cup. Thank you for coming out and playing in today's tournament, and we definitely cannot do it without you guys, as well as the people watching in the Twitch chat. Thank you to Mash for being the tournament organizer, and thank you Muff for co-casting this Cozy Cash Cup stream with me. And yeah, it should be pretty exciting. I think we will get an interview here in a second if they do want to respond. Actually, they're still here, so they definitely probably will. But yeah, I mean, if you want to talk a little bit more here, let's go back over to Boat Bashers. And as I was talking about a little bit earlier, actually, I'll let this timer run out so you guys see the game a little bit. But yeah, put the link down in the bottom of the screen, or go to that QR code on the left side of the game and go check it out for yourselves. You can either play on PC, on your browser, or on an Android or iOS device today. It is free to play, so definitely give it a try. It is an excellent game, and the aesthetics are incredible. Very cozy indeed. So yeah, it looks like we are going to be getting an interview here. So let's go over to the chat here, Muff. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
What do you mean we have?
Hello.
Oh yeah.
The cozy
How y'all
cast.
doing?
What's up? How y'all doing? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, y'all doing
What's up, fellas?
good. You guys played really well in those last two games. I thought you guys showed a really impressive performance. What changed between the winners finals side and then the grand finals games?
I mean,
We
we just
banned
like,
their
to be
character.
honest, we just weren't really taking the first map seriously. To be honest, we didn't really see them as like real competition. We were all just kind of like LARPing and having fun. Bit us in the ass, and then we were like, okay, let's actually try now. And now it's just belt to ass. Wasn't even close. So just how it goes.
Legit too easy.
Legit too easy.
Yeah, you guys did a really good job. I'm curious on your bans on map 2. I'm curious to hear why you guys decided to let Spider-Man get through the draft. Did you guys decide it was just not a big threat? Because
we didn't exactly have a choice. They kind of protected him, but we didn't think like Jetward was never really the problem on Spider-Man. I kind of like sucked on first map when he had pulls off the map, but we knew we were gonna full hold and full spawn, like spawn hold them and full hold them on that point, so we weren't scared of a Spider-Man pull because there's nowhere to pull off the map on that point. So we decided to take the torch out because that's really good at breaking spawn holds, and it's just really good on the other parts of the map as like a backup plan. So yeah, I mean they did protect Spider-Man, so we couldn't ban it even if we wanted to. But the BP and the Venom are way more important bans on that map, especially.
yeah, I agree with you guys. I think you guys did a really good job, especially on the draft. I definitely think you guys outmaneuvered them a little bit. Is there anything you want to ask here, Muff? Because I didn't have too many other questions. I thought that was like really impressive performance, though.
Yeah, so I saw a lot of really good teamwork between Stinkers and I believe it was Chime. So I mean, can the two of you, either one of you, doesn't matter. Can one of you guys walk us through what the comms were kind of like whenever you guys were? I believe it was Stinkers was on Ultron and Chime was on Human Torch, and it just kind of like every time we panned over to you guys, it just seemed like you guys were both constantly attacking the same target.
We pretty much just call every single time we're in the air, like which of the flyers we're shooting at, or which of the like backliners we're shooting at. And anytime they're hitting our backline with like a cap dive or whatever it is, Stinkers immediately tells me, "Chime, I'm taking the drone off you," and he like puts it on our backline. He starts playing like a kind of like a defensive Ultron, and that's like my timing to like not really play any more aggressive and wait to peel out the backline, and then we can go again after their cap is out and forced out by Stinkers.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's a little 50-50 between comms and chemistry.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
100%.
that's Stinky Boy.
I did have a question. Is that
Stink.
the first Cozyverse Cash Cup to go to the second map of the finals?
I think it was actually. I was kind of surprised. I was not used to it going to the second game. That's why I was a little caught off guard at the beginning. But yeah, I think you guys have been to the second game. Yeah, because I think were you on the team Wrong Band Mace?
Yeah, I was.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we like that was a long time ago, but I think that might be the first one, maybe the second one, but we just wanted to give you guys a little extra showing, you know what I mean? A little extra map or two.
Yeah, you guys showed off a
go.
great performance. I think that was like the first or second time that happened. So yeah, I mean, you guys showed off some excellent games, some great teamwork, and honestly, great ultimate economy. I do think that maybe from the side of Odyssey, they were panicking a little bit towards the end as their like ultimate rotations were a little bit sloppy, honestly. But you guys really held it together. Nicely done.
Yeah. I mean, like, shout out my supports. Like, I knew that my supports were gonna just be 100 times better than theirs, and so that's kind of what we were playing for, and it worked. So, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to say on the stream before I ask the final question?
Nah,
Shout out Stinkers, bro. Shout out Stinkers.
Shout out Stinkers, bro.
Shout out Stinky Boy.
Shout out Stinkers.
And NCS best hits.
What is
Yeah.
this guy fucking saying, bro? Like,
The NCS best hits, bro. That's our anthem.
Jesus Christ. NCS, NCS. Oh my god. This guy was blasting like 2015 Agrario music in the VC, dude. Like, I was like, oh my god.
It's to hype us up. We got on the
I have
same
that.
page.
It did hype
I mean,
us up.
honestly,
It
it
did.
worked.
Stinkers,
What going
It
on out
worked.
here?
Yo, Stinkers, we're in an
Oh,
interview,
we're
bro.
new.
Lock in.
Oh shit.
Yo, what's up, Stink?
Lock in, bro.
Okay, okay.
Bro.
Final
Question.
question. Final question. What are you guys gonna do with the $300 cash prize? Do you guys have any plans for it?
Hookers and cocaine. I'm gonna be so real with you.
Fleshlight.
What?
Let's get those a Bud Light.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I'm just gonna go get fucking food, bro, because I'm a fat fuck. Like genuinely. I don't know
you
about
know,
the rest of y'all, but
that has been a really, really common response.
I mean, what else are you gonna
No,
get
it
with
is.
50 bucks? Like, man.
Yeah,
like-
you know what? Fair enough. You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's just it's like a good like meal plan for the rest of the week.
Yep.
That's like Chipotle
Yeah.
3 times.
That is, yeah, it's like 3 Chipotles, bro. I'll fucking take it.
That's fire. I can't hate.
Yeah.
Don't gotta
Yeah.
worry anymore.
Yeah, thanks for coming out for the Cozy Cash Cup, though. Hopefully, you guys come back again. You guys showed off a really good performance, and if you have anyone else you'd like to thank, say it now. Otherwise, I'll definitely head off and do the closer for the stream.
Since
I'd
you
like
didn't hear me the
to-
first time, shout out Stinkers.
Shout
Yeah,
out
Stinkers
Stinkers.
talk.
And wait, I had one thing to say. I want
Okay.
to shout out you guys for holding the tournament.
Oh,
Thank you,
Nice guy.
Such a nice guy. Nice
Yeah.
guy,
I'm not,
Stinkers,
I'm not a
bro.
bad person after all.
Well, yeah, after we beat you with a PR stunt, like, bro, like, fucking Christ, man. But yeah, thank you guys for hosting this. Appreciate it a lot.
You guys
Yeah,
are the
thanks for
goats.
coming out. We definitely
Of
can't do it
course.
without you guys either. So hopefully to see you guys
Yep.
again in the next Cozy Cash Cup, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hopefully in the next few
Yeah.
weeks.
We'll be back to
Alright.
get first place again.
Of
Yep.
course.
Yeah.
Shit on everybody.
Hope to see you guys.
Light
Remember
again.
the
work,
name.
light work.
Remember the name.
Look forward to it.
Okay, and as I am, oh, it's actually not showing up on the stream that I am in a call, but let's not worry too much about. Oh, there we go. It actually showed up there. And yeah, we'll do the closing talking here. I don't know if Muff will come back to this call. I don't know where he ended up going. But yeah, thank you to everyone who came out for the Cozy Cash Cup. Thank you for the streamers, or sorry, the viewers for the stream. We definitely can't do it without you guys. Thank you to the teams who came out. Thanks to the Cozyverse Discord for helping organize this. Thank you for Avalanche for sponsoring the tournament. And thank you to MASH for organizing all of this. We definitely cannot do it without you. And before we go, let's take another quick look at the bracket and see if it updated. Oh, it doesn't, it looks like it may have gone away. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, so it's not been updated, but to recap, we do have Dreamlands taking home $300 in the first place, beating out Odyssey in the second place, who will be taking home $200. And yeah, overall that is great, and I will be leaving you guys in a little bit here with some highlights from the game, so hopefully you guys are excited to see that, and I will see you guys in the next Cozy Cash Cup. But they do have to touch. Dribble kind of staying on the side, maybe looking for the portal here. Yeah, he does pull the portal away from the Doctor Strange, so that's no portal.
Oh my goodness, that's some great presence in Andre.
Cut out, no healers in sight, but Chime probably gonna get traded for that as he also went quite deep.
Yeah, and Jabori out here also putting out quite a bit of damage as well. I don't think that it's gonna make much of a difference though, as but he's got me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, and here comes out Chime with the Supernova. Let's see if we can get really putting a lot of pressure as Odyssey tries to touch this point. Yeah, as Odyssey tries down from the side of Odyssey, there shouldn't be anything like Jit Ward also goes down. That's nothing left for the side of Odyssey, and it's gonna be a clean cleanup. That's gonna be a really solid cleanup from the side of Dreamland. Not even a ton of ultimates expended.
Keeping it really tight, and we see a counter ultimate as well go out by Momentum. This is looking like it's gonna be isn't quite the slugfest. Self gets the double pick on both tanks. That's Stinkers and Maze going down.
Find a sniper on Self, but that is nothing. And Soko might gonna have to use his own ultimate here to try to keep the point. And here comes Stinker, and Soko is gonna immediately match, getting that invisible boundary out. Very nice snipe there from Soko. The Frost ult very effective, and with the rest of the team going down, Outlast Game doesn't have anything left here to keep pushing this point.
Yeah, that's gonna be a full team.
Or sorry, to keep blocking the point.
Yeah, Calamity is gonna probably walk this straight.
Here comes the Eye of Agamotto from Wild Thing, does get one, but that's not too much value, especially since Outlast Gaming is on that Cloak and Dagger ultimate. And nice hold there from Outlast Gaming, actually gonna hold on just at the end of that push. Boy, that's gonna be one, probably two followed up there. And here comes the rest of Outlast Gaming to follow up on this play, and that should be enough there. No more help on this Namor, and straight out of the park. Calamity gonna get held on second point.
That's going to be actually a lot of value for Outlast. Given a lot of space. Tino's going to pump out a lot of damage here. Gets to pick on Kikuo, who is Cloak and Dagger as well. Felicity gets to pick on Wild Thing. And I mean, we have an absolute trade fest on our hands, folks.
No, really cool, really nicely done. Oh, Climate landing too. Very nice, Meteor M. Really effective. That's two strategists down. That's basically no more sustain left for the side of Calamity. Tornado is going to try to be solo on point here, keep his team alive, but that's not going to be anything against Outlast Gaming. Really nicely done from Climate. Going to commit on the point. There goes Eternal Bond. Let's see if they can get copied by Kikyo. Kikyo going to actually go to copy the Rocket ult. Thought it was going to be the Eternal Bond, but actually going to get burned down super fast from the side of Outlast Gaming. Maybe not the right choice of ultimate, maybe misclicked.
This round here, folks.
Yeah, a ton of damage. Here comes a Chime with the final ultimate just to make sure no one touches, but as the Stranger Portal comes out, that's going to drop onto it. Choco's probably going to drop the Freedom Charge, but no, not even needed. Outlast Gaming not being able to outlast the competition. Immediately gets both strategists, two strategists down. There's only one left, and here comes Mace. Oh my god.
It's disastrous for Outlast.
They're going to actually build enough time for his team to keep pushing this point here.
Yeah, and Climate still just trying to keep Stinkers away from being any sort of a threat to his team. I actually kind of like this strategy. Stinkers still hasn't even pulled off a...
And that was a really nice play there from the side of Dreamland to keep up the tempo. I didn't even notice when Stinkers and Climate came back. Oh, wow, what an incredible angle.
Yeah, what a grab.
From Mace as well. I think that was on 2 or 3. Nice dive there. Is that enough to finish? Nope. Invisible One gets away, but that is going to be a kill on Soko. Yeah, that's a pretty long reset because that was right after the last respawn, so a very, very long stagger. Trying to snip them out, trying here. And on the back, that's almost all of the damage. Maybe if they can get Self here, that's going to be enough. There's not anything left for the side of Odyssey. It's just going to be a really slow death animation here.
And you see Mace just kind of walking through, cleaning up the rest of Odyssey.
Below trying to stay alive. Here goes Javori, gonna drop his own Silver Surge to follow up. Odyssey has nothing left, there's nothing in the tank, and they're gonna have to back up and run for the hills or get sent straight to the spawn room.
Yeah, Dreamland's got their foot on the floor. It's
1v1, a victory here, and that's gonna be enough, I think, for Odyssey to actually take this. But as I say, that Sumble is going to keep touching, but just buys enough time for Jitward to touch once again for the Psylocke. But no, I think that's the end. Valentina, this Soul Resurgence is going to be just enough. Get countered immediately. Stinker's going to look for this onto one. Yep, that's going to be one straight onto the Storm. Nicely followed up there by the side of Dreamland. Very, very, very solid defensive play. Chuckle, so that might make the difference. Big stun into the backline, 2 strategists stunned. That's basically all the sustain there from Odyssey. Basically nothing left. Chuckles, really nice, great play there. Finding them in that closed room, and you do not want to be in a closed room with the Thing in a boxing match, definitely. You pick a nice wall there from the side of Dreamland. Gonna be able to kill the Thing, but Thing does get res. Another pick on Soko. I'm in Self as they attempt to run up on the point. Seeker's finding a ton of value with this Squirrel Girl ultimate. And that's it.
And she nails the root.